charged up. Let's fucking go.
Oh my goodness. Oh wow.
Ah!
Good morning, everyone.
Oh yeah, Lori, you got it. Just get yourself a nice cup of coffee and kick the day right in the cock. Hey, everybody. Anita, you might be muted. That means they're only hearing me, and that's a problem.
You got anxiety? Look at this show. This show will take that anxiety, kick it in the cock, and yell in his face, saying,
How's
"You're
that?
unworthy, and your
I should
father
be back
never
now,
loved
and
you."
I should not have a robot voice on from last night's episode of Star Trek. Good morning.
Can we make kick the day in the cock gear? Can we get some merch?
I will rock a kick a day in the cock as a crop top.
I mean, we do have the mean mug, a cock for justice.
But that's different.
I want kick a day in the cock workout.
Kick a day straight in the cock.
I want to walk out of that gym with my kick a day in the cock crop top as I'm clanging them weights on the bar. I drop down that bench press. I drop down that bar for my good 300 bench press squat, and I'm like, what? Look around, put the hoodie up, knock up my bucket, starts playing in my headsets, and put that squat down. Bang, bang, bang. Turn around, pectorals bouncing as kick the day in the cock is on my crop top. Man, can you imagine that?
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's do
this. Need a rooster sound effect.
Oh, I'm already on it.
I figured you would be with your soundboard.
Do I have a rooster sound effect? No, I do have, though. Do I have? Oh, I have this. Bird up. Oh, I know I don't have it. No, I don't have my sound effect for this.
Was that bird up?
There it is. Yes, it is. Yeah.
Did you say word up?
Bird
up.
Oh, bird up. Okay. I mean, hi, everybody. Welcome to Morning Ritual. We've said cock 15 times a second.
In case you weren't aware, this is an 18+ stream. So if you're a little
kid, get the fuck out of here, kids. This ain't for you, children.
Go back to play Roblox.
Michael Jordan meme. Fuck them kids.
Go to your Gaia Online or whatever the youth do these days.
Get back to your Roblox.
Go feed your Neopets. They're starving.
10 here, have a hotel. Are we just doing like completely outdated references now?
Into your Tamagotchis.
Go log into Toon Disney.
Not Toon Disney.
Beware anybody asking ASL.
Beware of anybody responding. 19, yes please.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh. Hi, I'm Anita. I'm one of your hosts for Morning Ritual. My pronouns are she, they. I'm going to throw it down to my other host to introduce themselves. Yeah.
I'm charged up. I'm ready to do this. Let's go. I'm your other host, Noir. I do shit, but mainly I just kick the data.
This is our full devolution into like shock jock radio. And we've got an amazing guest today, Wally. Why don't you tell us about yourself?
We broke Wally.
We broke the guest. We broke the guest, and we are only 16 minutes into the stream.
What's up, y'all? It's me, Wall, your partner's my best friend. Damn. Oh, gosh. God.
What was the part that killed you?
It was the soundboard that ended me, because he could have said cock, but he did the replacement of the cock with the rooster sound effect, and I have a severe weakness for morning zoo antics. So the fact that you did this has had me flashback little tiny Wally just listening to the morning zoo on Z100. I'm like, yeah, morning zoo.
Apparently we
Anita
kill
and the
Wally though.
Beast.
We can't. Wally can't come to Sunset City tomorrow night. Well, we'll do our best, but I can't guarantee anything. No
97.8.
promises. Morning Ritual is not held responsible for the unfortunate demise of any guests that come on their show.
With Anita and the Beast.
And the beast.
We're not fucking around.
I hate this. I hate it here. What was it? It was the one that D said was Panini and the Enigma.
Panini and the Enigma. Oh, it gets wild.
What are you doing, step bro?
I hate it here. I think all of us are like the exact right amount of like super tired and over caffeinated. So that is the energy that you're getting this morning.
Like, okay. So this is why myself and Noir are never allowed to be on the same anything at any given point of the day. You gotta understand, right? When we did a show together, we got all of this out before the show started. Yo, we were going out. We were letting it all out so that we were in that good, serious, mode going to that show. No, before the show, we're talking about the string theory of non-existing Boyz II Men songs. Like, I'm telling you, the stuff that was coming out of our domes, it was magical.
I truly believe Mandela Effect took place because I remember Boyz II Men did a cover of Jolene, and now it doesn't exist. I'm in the wrong universe.
Oh
The TVA's coming to get me. I'm gonna bury it.
Oh my goodness.
Anita and the Berry.
Oh.
Yeah, we got to run them up for the long car ride.
we do have wild husky energy.
Just this big Alaskan wolfhound and this big mastiff running around, and he's just standing there on the front porch like,
Do you want to go for a walk?
I can smell you.
Oh my god, why?
I promise we're gonna actually have a show. We just gotta let some of it out.
You gotta let it out, folks.
There's like a little bit of it being let out in like the green room, but then I think you hit like another gear as soon as I hit the live, but like the switch transition to this scene.
The thing is, now there's many coffee brands, and one of my favorites is Found Familiar, and Found Familiar is my day-to-day. I need to get shit done. But when I need to turn that extra gear, there's something called Death Coffee. Now, I discovered Death Coffee because Brito made a mistake. Bree made a mistake thinking that they could drink Death Coffee and be a functional person. I never expect to be a functional person. So I drank this coffee, and I literally went from, I don't know why I'm awake, I want to go back to bed, to like, I want to punch God directly in the, I'm not even going to do it. Yeah, I want to punch him right in the... So now I'm super charged up, and I'm a little too charged up. and we got to get the show back on the road.
Personally, my go-to coffee, honestly, but outside Five Familiar is my jam.
Oh, Five Familiar is legit.
Panache. It's such my jam. I love it that it's that coffee that you can just brew up and then throw in a mug and just drink it kind of coffee.
Yeah.
That kind of coffee that you can make an iced coffee out of. That's what I love my panache for. But I also love Death Coffee so much. It is that kind of coffee that just kind of like after like a few sips, you just kind of hit it. You feel it hit in the spinal cord, and you're like, oh, okay, let's go rob.
Right,
let's
the
go
base of
steal
your
the,
skull. Like that's
Yeah.
where the caffeine hits, is like right
there.
there.
Yeah,
Yep.
right
Oh
there.
my
You
God,
feel it
yeah.
there. And you're like, let's go steal the National Geographics. Let's go steal the Declaration of Independence. Let's go do that.
And then frame Nicolas Cage for it because it would be hilarious.
It would be.
It is the true gay agenda, is dethroning God.
Hey, oh God. So let's get into the show. Wally, thank you so much for joining us. So you are on a number of projects, but the first one that I want to talk about is you're part of Gnome Brew. What's up?
It's
Yo,
like
we
a
had
second
to
Gnome
know.
Brew crossover.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is a crossover episode.
We still need to make our way over to Gnome Brew. We were invited. We had an open invitation, but you know how I am in mornings. But I would love very much to hang out with you, Gnome and Eris. Y'all are just three of my favorite people, and I can only imagine what shenanigans you, me, and Joey would get into.
Oh boy. I feel like it would be that good chaos, because it was kind of like the one time we had Zero on the show, and I know when you go on the show and like you just click with someone,
Yeah.
it's like that. It would be like that. It would be
Hell
pretty
yeah.
much what just happened for the past 15 minutes. It would be that, but just for like the whole entire show. Which is one of the reasons that I just love Gnome Brew so much, because it's not really like a structured show. It's just like, hey guys, we're just gonna be on a Zoom call for the next 90 minutes. Do you want to hang out with us? And that's the energy I love about it. And it is just good chill energy.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
There's such good people in the space
They
here,
are.
man. I love it. I love it.
They are fantastic. I love them so much. I probably wouldn't be in the space like I am today if it wasn't for them. They welcomed me into the space with open arms, and through them, I saw the welcoming side of this space, and I didn't feel apprehensive or anything getting into it. Because they introduced me to like the right people that saying, yeah, this person is really great. This person is really cool. This person is really fun. You have that great energy. You two will match. And it was able for me to kind of like, slowly wade myself into like the streaming sphere, and not just like dive in head deep and just hope that I grab onto something.
Yeah, I love seeing people welcomed in like that. I try to emulate that myself, because I feel like there are certain paths into streaming that are a little bit more rocky, and then there's like, if you have somebody kind of guiding you, like these people will never steer you wrong. These people don't have any expectations. I love that, So, and also I have to say this every time I stream with you. I love that fuck around and find out flag. I love it so much.
I commented on it immediately as soon as the Zoom.
I love that so much. That's your brand to me.
It is such my brand. It is such my brand. And I hope that wherever I stream, that is like a constant thing in the background, because that is such my brand. It's such my brand. Shout out to Gators Daily for this flag. A great website that has a lot of different really great, awesome pride flags with the same message on it. So, hop on that. It's a great website.
Yesterday was Flat Fuck Friday.
Mm-hmm.
You fucking losers.
It was.
Wait, yesterday was what now?
Flat Fuck Friday.
Yeah, Flat Fuck Friday.
It's the best day of the week.
What's Flat Fuck Friday?
Oh, okay. So, Gators Daily.
Let's do this.
All right. So Gators Daily, their Twitter page, they post Gators Daily. But on Friday is a very special Friday. There's a special kind of gator they post on the Fridays. The most flattest of gators do they post on the Fridays. And they title it Flat Fuck Friday.
There's even a Flat Fuck Friday song. It's Flat Fuck Friday. You fucking losers.
Can I get that one more time, please?
It's Flat Fuck Friday, you fucking losers. And then it's like the gator slides down the slide. It's like getting rid of all the negativity and going into the good vibes.
Are gators the official animals of the gays?
I mean, gators, possums, raccoons.
I mean,
frogs.
I feel like we got frogs, we got possums.
The water's turned the freaking frogs gay.
we just took that. We look. He started. We were like, yeah, sure, why not? The same thing with the Babaji. We just went with it. But it's like I know raccoons 100% is like representative of queer culture. Like I said, I may be very attractive, but I'm really just a really attractive raccoon in a trench coat. Okay, I may look like I got it together, but no, I'm a mess.
Deep down,
gators are the Florida gay.
Deep down, I am a trash panda. That's why I've got the bags under my eyes.
Here's what I love about the queer and the neurodivergent and the Black community.
It's like the three-way arm clasp.
They're masters of taking things like people used to like insult us and being like, well, we're gonna repackage this and brand it. Like just, the frogs are turned into freaking the water's turned into freaking frogs gay. Yeah, betcha. And now guess what? Now it's a fucking
That's right. We took raccoons back, all right? Yeah, we did. Yeah, we took raccoons back. Yeah, we did.
How can like they've got little hands?
Little chubby hands.
I'm gonna be such a look at the cute little hands.
Like I can't
video of taking the candy floss, dipping it in the water, like, oh no.
That is like that is the gif of my mental health state. Like, oh, I got something nice. Why did I ruin everything I touched?
Like, if you show me the video of the fucking raccoon with the sugar cubes where he's trying to wash it at my most gangster, like when I'm trying to be like my most like, hey, I'll fuck a motherfucker up, don't play with me. Like if you show me that in my most gangster state, it will take all the power in me not to go, don't wash it, little buddy, it's sugar.
See, that's why I can't play Animal Crossing, all right? So it's not because of Tom Nook. Like, fuck Tom Nook, man. That is capitalism in like a cute little form. No, it is Timmy and Tommy. Those two little dudes, I cannot look at them because there's the two little cute little raccoons and one finishes the sentence of the other or like one just repeats it. I can't. I physically cannot get anything past those two little guys. I just can't. That's why I would be terrible in Animal Crossing. So it's like Tom Nook wouldn't have to come by my house. It'd just be sending those two kids like, yo, just take all my money.
You know what? I'm sorry, but fuck them too, because like I just see them as Tom Nook's goons. like, hey, it's been a while since you've been at the island. Don't make me send the boys over. Like the boys, I just see them like.
Send the shooters over. Send the shooters over to his place, all right? knock on the door. Door opens up, see to me and Tom. He's just
I hear you're late on your payments.
And the same thing with the little dog too. The dog girl, the fucking
Isabel?
The one that Isabel. Fuck her too. She old grimy motherfucker. Like the only
Isabel
person,
is just a hard done by middle manager. You can't blame Isabel.
No, she's part of the system. All right, I don't want to hear I was following orders. Like the only person I give a shit about in Animal Crossing is the owl in the museum. Barnaby, or its name starts with B or something.
I think it's Bartles.
I don't remember. All I know is this motherfucker loves to learn so much that even being afraid of bugs, Blathers.
There it is. Yeah.
I love me a Blathers, because Blathers is just about education. Like, hey, if you find some fossils, baby, bring those motherfuckers on over. But like, I don't like bugs, so if we could like not fuck with bugs, and even if you bring bugs, it's like, I don't like this, but for education, I'm gonna pull through. And Blathers expects nothing of you. If you haven't been in the island for a while, Blathers is not going to be passive aggressive like, it's been a while since you've come here. Oh, you haven't brought me a fucking fossil in a while. Blathers is just happy to learn. Like, oh, another fossil. Great.
I feel like Blathers would be played by Cedric the Entertainer. Because I mean, you just go into the museum after being a while.
Fuck you for putting that in my brain.
And then, you know, you see Blathers. Blathers wakes up. He's like, "Oh, what's up there, Playboy? Oh, you got some fossils for me? Oh no! Whoa, that's a spider! Oh, I'm gonna take this spider." You know, like,
fuck it, we're casting Animal Crossing now, and I'm sorry, Tom Nook could only be played to me. David. Oh, you son of a bitch. It's better than what I had planned. I was going to say the late, great Bernie Mac, like, you son of a bitch. Where the fuck have you been at with my motherfucking...
Okay, wait. See, but thing is, they are both great because you have a really aggressive Tom Nook, but I am here for Keith David as Tom Nook. Like when you first get there, you know, you want to buy this island. Keith David is just there in that deep baritone voice, like just welcoming you.
You can sell me anything at this point.
Well, I'm sorry, we're doing an all-black Animal Crossing now. y'all just got to deal with it at this point. Oh, Isabella's gonna be played by Tiffany Haddish. Motherfucker, this island ain't shit.
I was gonna say, like, when you're casting Isabel, are you gonna cast like a mixed race actress for Isabel?
No.
No.
I said what I said. Like, and you know, what's the little hedgehog that does the dresses?
Oh man.
Oh, I can't remember her name, but I would have that hedgehog played by Cardi B. And her sisters would be Megan Thee Stallion.
See, I wasn't gonna go the obvious route, but you did. But now I love it. I love it though.
Ooh, that outfit is killing.
But here's my peak casting for this. Tracy Morgan as Gulliver.
I want this Animal Crossing
like passed out on the beach.
So bad.
Yeah. He's passed out on the beach, and you go up to him, you're like, "Nah, man, I still got 5 more minutes here on the beach," and just goes back. Eventually, it gets to the point, and he stops saying lines that they gave him in the booth. They just recorded him saying different things, and they threw it into the game.
I like the way you pole vault, make your butt jiggle.
Here's the thing. It's kind of like that Muppets. You have to make a movie with only Muppets but one real actor. An adaptation of a movie with only Muppets but one real actor. Animal Crossing, but only one real actor, and it can't be the Villager.
Oh, I was gonna say. Shit. You know, like if this is the cast, if we're assuming that the cast is like the people that we've said, and there's only one real person, that person to me would be Daniel Radcliffe, just because I want to see Daniel Radcliffe interact
he's not the villager. Though. That's the best part.
Yeah. Oh,
Who
well,
is
you know
Daniel
what?
Radcliffe playing in the village?
Yeah.
Like, which villager is Daniel Radcliffe playing? Is it
Ooh. What's
the
his
cat
name?
with the glasses?
Ooh. Yes. Ooh,
Yes.
what's his name?
What have we done?
Oh my God, what's his name? Raymond.
Yeah.
Daniel Radcliffe would be Raymond.
Or KK Slider.
You know what? No, I changed my answer. Lil Nas X is KK Slider.
Yes. That's it.
Yes.
Everybody
Yes.
in Animal Crossing is still exactly the same. Everybody is still like
Yes.
villagers. The villager is still a villager. Everybody is still like the animals. But
Yes.
Lil Nas X is KK Slider.
And this over the top scene too, because everyone's like, "Oh, KK Slider's showing up today." Everyone's showing up today. KK Slider shows up today, and it is the most over the top like introduction of like you see this stage rise up out of the ground, lights go off, fog machine. You see all of these men wearing leather chaps, just doing the most awesome seductive dance ever. And then the middle of the stage rises up and you see Lil Nas X dressed in his amazing cowboy motif, but has little tiny dog ears on top because he's KK Slider, right? And then he pulls out the little acoustic guitar, sits on the stage, and he's about to like strum. You think Lil Nas X is about to do Lil Nas X songs, and basically just goes, he just does it, does one of his songs, but in the KK Slider style.
I know that
singing.
someone on TikTok has actually like found the KK Slider like as keyed the KK Slider thing to a MIDI keyboard, and is doing songs. I want to hear Montero with KK as KK
just
Slider.
Oh my God,
Say
I need that.
I need that so bad.
Because there is a great YouTube channel that does KK Slider versions of songs, and they did one of, oh man, I gotta find it. But could you just imagine that though? Like, does Lil Nas X singing in the stylings? He's singing Montero in the stylings of K. Yes. Oh,
y'all, hold on a second. It exists, and it's so good.
Oh, no.
I put it in the chat.
I want to watch it, but then it'll be the only thing that everybody hears.
Oh my gosh, this. Oh my gosh, this is too fire. This is too fire.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm getting.
This is too much fire. Oh my gosh.
This shouldn't exist, and yet it does, and we're grateful.
Yeah. We do not deserve Lil Nas X at all.
Yeah.
Like there are so many black queers we do not deserve in this world, and we have them, and they make my life so much better.
I can't not see KK Slider as Lil Nas X now. This is perfect.
But it is the most perfect thing
this
ever.
Is fucking perfection.
It is perfection.
Oh my God.
Because it's Lil Nas X singing in the key of his song, but he's not singing the lyrics. He is singing it in the version of KK Slider.
And with the vocal stylings of KK Slider.
Yes!
You know he would do it. You know he would do it.
How do I make this my ringtone? There's also I think that same creator came out with a version of Bo Burnham's Alone in a Room from Inside.
Gosh.
Look who's inside again. Yeah.
It's real good.
God.
Oh my God. Oh god damn it. I don't know what you wanted out of morning ritual today, but I think this might have been the tops. We helped you if you didn't know it existed, you know it exists now. You can't ask for anything more from this show. I want bits, I want follows, and I want subscriptions for this. Y'all are welcome.
We're doing you a public service here.
Everybody's like, hey, why should we put WallE on your show? This is why you put WallE on your show. This is why you put WallE
on the show right here.
Gosh.
Wait, you want to talk about tabletop?
This is the kind of gremlin energy that I live for in every interaction.
Exactly.
Tell your friends about our shows right now.
Like, people are all like, to do a little bit of like paraphrasing of a quote that is famous by one Big E Langston. You don't hire me you want your tabletop shows? You want me on your tabletop shows? No, I don't want to talk about tabletops. I don't want to talk about dice. I want to talk about casting your favorite characters in an Animal Crossing. That's what you get. You chaos goblin energy up on this. You don't want to talk about what roles you want to play. You want to talk about the things that you enjoy at the table.
No, KK Slider is now Little Nas X in Animal Crossing. Deal with it.
There is no other casting. Let me find out they're making an Animal Crossing movie. I'm walking to Hollywood and slapping the shit out of everybody.
When they find out Chris Pratt is voicing everyone.
Yo,
if you wanted everybody to hate Tom Nook, as they should, you would cast Chris Pratt as Tom Nook.
I'm telling you right now, and I fucking mean this. Let me look directly into the camera. Let me look. Hold on. I gotta fucking look me in my eyes right now. If they make a fucking Animal Crossing movie and they cast Chris Pratt as KK Slider, I'm killing everybody. Everybody. This is some James Bond villain level shit right now.
This is your Joker origin story.
This is y'all warning. This is the warning right here. Don't let it happen. Don't let it happen.
All I know is if a day like if they announce the Animal Crossing movie and they announce like Chris Pratt in anything, I'm gonna be like, watch. I'm gonna hit it to like, can someone please check on Noir? Can someone just check on him? Make sure he is not creating his like Gotham villain manifesto right now. You know, we check it out Noir. We check it out like. Yo, no, are you good? You open up the door.
It's gonna be like that scene from "I'ma Get You, Sucker," where I have too many guns.
Yeah. Like we just open the door, like, yo, Noir, are you good? Like, yeah, I'm good. Like, but Noir, last time you said you were gonna kill everyone, and we just wanted to make sure you were joking or not.
It's not a game. I gave them a warning, they didn't listen.
It's like we catch you in the middle of your like manifesto, like you're in the middle of it. You open it, you're like, "What's up, guys? What's up?"
Is that a camera?
I've always got a camera in front of me.
Why do you have? I know you use a green screen, but why do you have, the chroma key that says right there, showing signs of, and as I quote on your screen, an anarchy will fall underneath a Chris Pratt. What is that supposed to mean?
Sometimes empires need to fall. Sometimes their hubris needs to be humbled.
Oh, cool. Okay, just.
Oh my god! Like, I just, how the fuck do you cast Chris Pratt as Mario? How?
Oh,
who thought that was a good idea?
He's doing his own spin on the voice.
Is that what got me? Is when
did he say that?
Yes.
In the production company said that it won't be the classic Mario voice that you expect. Chris Pratt is doing his own unique spin on it.
Things become classic when they're good and people like them. Maybe stop fucking with that.
All I can hope for is that they come up with like a really bad trailer and then they decide to do a Sonic the Hedgehog on it.
Oh gosh, I hope so.
Including recasting Mario.
It's the same people who thought Minions would be a good movie. Well, the problem is though, that motherfuckers went and saw the Minions movie.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Like,
Minions are just a meme for wine moms on Facebook.
They really are. Why moms surely love their minions?
They really
I have
do.
never seen a single movie that the minions were in. I don't even know where they originate from. To me, they're just like the rabbits from those video games. Like, I don't even remember what game those came out of.
Wow.
I think the rabbits just came from their own game.
Yeah, but they did.
No, they came from another game.
Yeah, no, they came. The rabbits came from. So there was the first rabbits game was Rayman Rabbids Rampage, and that's when the rabbits got their own game after
Rayman.
That because
They came from Rayman.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, I hate things. I usually hate things that are designed purely to be cute and sell merch. Like the porgs from Star Wars, I hated those things. Like Ewoks, I hate Ewoks. Like rabbits, I can't stand them. Minions, I fucking hate their guts. However, the penguins from Madagascar are legitimately funny.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Penguins from Madagascar?
Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Those motherfuckers have me dying.
I will quote them on regular. Oh my gosh, the penguins of Madagascar. I love them too much. Like, you cannot tell me when they made the penguins of Madagascar, that was someone who played a TTRPG. Whoever created Penguins of Madagascar, that is someone who has encountered the most chaotic group at a table. It's like, look, I had one time I was playing games with these people, and there was one guy trying to lead the entire group, one guy who had great intelligence rolls, but they weren't all there. Then you had the one who had great charisma checks, but that's all they could do. And then you had the barbarian. I mean, telling you, that's such a D&D party right there, those Penguins of Madagascar.
You know what, Michael Wade? I think you're right. The penguins are actually characters, while the porgs and the rabbits and the minions are just, you know what? It's the same kind of humor. It's the same kind of humor as the Three Stooges, but dumber.
I will also say, to Lauren's credit, Lauren is right that the Ewoks did eat the space Nazis afterwards.
That's true.
What?
Oh, you didn't know that?
What do you think happened to all the... You saw them playing with the helmets?
Yo, yeah.
They were ready to eat, like, Han, Luke, and Leia.
Yeah.
They're ready to eat Han and Luke.
They're ready to kill them.
They were ready to, like, roast them up and eat them. What do you think happened to the stormtroopers after the Battle of Endor?
Like, unless C-3PO jumped in... Yeah, unless C-3PO jumped in, they were ready to kill them. They were going to straight up kill them.
They were going to...
You mean to tell me that during the final celebration where everybody's like, the Empire is gone, Luke and Leia is just sitting there watching Ewoks barbecue stormtroopers?
Yo, like, the Ewoks...
Did you not see them playing with the drums on the helmets?
Yeah, I just thought they took the fucking armor off and was celebrating.
Where would you think they would have gotten that? They wouldn't know how to do that.
You mean heads were still in those helmets?
Maybe. Well, maybe not. They might actually got to the tender victuals first.
Oh yeah, they totally scooped out the good meats first, and then use the rest. Because you're always supposed to use all parts of the prey. See, and that just really fueled it even more. That I said you're supposed to use all parts of the prey. So it's like, why would they be using the stormtrooper parts?
Ewoks were straight up ready to eat Luke and Han. Like, why would they not? It's free meat. It's free real estate.
Yeah.
Did we just break noir?
I think we did.
Nice. That took 50 minutes.
Proud of myself.
That's metal as shit.
Mm-hmm.
These little people eating Teddy Ruxpin looking motherfuckers just out here just eating stormtroopers.
The only reason why people hate on the Ewoks, not because of Return of the Jedi, it's really because of the follow-up movies and the cartoon. That's when they became like...
And Ewok Adventures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was because of that they became these weird kiddified, like, franchise cute things.
I watched those movies way too much when I was a kid.
Oh, I watched them way too much.
The Gorax gave me nightmares.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Or the scene with the ice.
Oh my gosh. like those movies were disturbing, but they were banking on the fact like, oh, we have these cute little new mascots we can put into the series, so let's just melt the heck out of it. And that is when Ewoks became like what they maybe hated to now, is because they were the franchised bits of at that time.
They were the only thing that they could use to sell merch after the movies had aired and gone out of theaters.
Holy fucking shit, y'all. Ewoks are out here
Eating space Nazis.
Yeah, they eat those space Nazis up.
All right, so I feel like it's time for a hot take. And me and Anita were talking about this the other day. And so I have a question.
Okay.
All right. I want to start to say a line. And then if you know the lines, I want you to finish it. All right. You turned her against me. Anita, you want to jump in so bad.
I know that's from.
Hold on. Me and Anita will start it, and then when you know what we're doing, you get jump in.
Yeah.
You turned her against me.
You have done that to yourself.
Because I know where this is from.
Okay, good. You know where it's from.
Yeah.
So my question is this good dialogue?
Okay.
I have a take, but go on.
I have a very weird take on the dialogue in general for the prequel trilogy. I have a bit of a take on it. I have a take in general.
I'm not talking about the whole.
No, yeah.
I'm talking about this specific part of the prequel.
Like,
I have brought peace and prosperity to my new empire.
Your new empire?
It's like a lot of the dialogue in that movie has this weird, like, I'm just saying something, and this other person is going to respond to what I said in a very odd way. It doesn't feel like anyone is having conversations in any of these movies. And specifically that last scene, it doesn't feel like they are really having this conversation with each other. It feels like these are just two people yelling these two things at each other. Like they maybe like when the conversation starts, it's that Anakin is responding, like Obi-Wan is responding to what he thinks Anakin is saying, because everything is so loud there. He just thinks this is what he's supposed to say. And then after Obi-Wan says what he says, Anakin's like, I think that's, yeah, I'm going to respond to this way. And it's none of them wanted to take the moment and go, what? That's what it really feels like. It really feels like the other person doesn't know what the other person is saying, and they're roughly trying their best to respond and continue the conversation.
It's like bad D&D roleplay.
Yes! Wow! But you are so right. Because okay, all right, let me pull up that line, that whole dialogue, frame of dialogue there.
Don't make me kill you.
I will do what I must.
It's like
you will try.
Because if you get to the part where it's like the whole language says it's over, Anakin, I have
the high ground. You underestimate my power.
What's the first thing that Anakin responds with? You're not my dad. That's the first thing he responds to from Anakin, I have the high ground. He responds with, you're not my dad. And then he responds to Anakin with, try it, high ground. Okay, so let me break it down in the form of two people arguing at a D&D table. Okay, so...
Wow, this is not a take that I was expecting, but I'm ready for it.
The DM made the mistake of allowing PvP at the table, first of all. They allowed that PvP at the table to let the two players squash their player beef.
These are two players that are arguing as players and then trying to do the same thing as their D&D characters.
Yes. It's like they're arguing bled into each other kind of thing. So everyone at the table just watch this play out. And one character goes like, Well, it's over. I have a high ground, so I have advantage on all of my checks and rolls for this. And
you underestimate my power. If I do a leaping attack, I should be able to attack with advantage, which will balance out. So it's just going to be a straight roll. Don't try it.
Your dice have not been kind to you today. Don't try it.
Get to the point where it says, it's over, Anakin. I have the high ground. And that's them saying, look, I have the high ground. I have advantage on all my checks and saves need to make this. The other person responds to it, well, you're not my dad. And the other person's like, well, I'm going to try it. I have the high ground. That's when they make the rolls. So that's when the DM says, okay, well, you want to make your roll, Anakin, since he has a high ground. You're going to roll a disadvantage against him. And that is when, all of that happens. That is such like a D&D argument moment here.
Anakin failed his dex save.
Oh, he totally did. Yeah.
Well, no. See, what the problem is that Obi-Wan had Sentinel, right? So the attack, he had to enter the threat range. It's an attack of opportunity. He missed his attack, and as a reaction, Obi-Wan got to take his attack, rolled the nat 20 and max damage. And
with Sentinel, your movement speed does go to 0.
Yeah. That's why I say anyone.
That's why he landed right back where he started in the fire. You get back in the fiery water.
So to all those people out there who make character builds based on like pop culture stuff and you don't put Sentinel feet in with your Obi-Wan build, you failed. You failed off the bat. All right? If there's no Sentinel feet in there, you just not making Obi-Wan.
And then the winning player gets to have the last monologue. It makes sense. You were my brother, Anakin.
I loved you.
I loved you. And it's
That's like the player and the character saying that at the same time.
Trying to grasp for like what they want to say here. It's like, I loved you, Anakin.
If you think about it though, and I hate that you've put this in my head, that entire fight is a fucking PvP match. All right, so you both have gotten to the point. Player one believes that they're fighting for their new empire, and that goes against the Jedi code. So it seems that nobody's gonna give way. So are we doing this? Yeah, roll initiative. All right. I'm gonna attack him while heading towards the tunnel. Oh yeah, well I'm gonna attack him while I'm heading towards the tunnel. All right, I'm gonna jump on this pole here, and I'm gonna roll a dexterity check to make sure I've got my balance. Well, I'm gonna do the same thing. You think your dex is better than mine? Fuck you, dude.
Okay, you guys are gonna make opposing dex checks to make sure you stay on this pole.
I just want to fucking splice that scene with like GMing for each part of the quiz.
Celeste put in chat. There is a blog called Darts and Droids that does exactly this.
Oh my god, I gotta read that. Oh my god, that's fucking hilarious.
This is so fucking good. I just want to make it a thing of like everyone doing that for like every kind of like epic moment or like really epically cheesy moment in like a movie that should be taken seriously. Break it down.
Like the toss me scene in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, like all of those epic action scenes. I want someone to break it down in like D&D terms in the most fun way.
Okay, so
oh my god.
So this dwarf is like, dwarves are pretty sturdy. You're an elf. I guess make a strength check to throw
but
it.
Also,
it's Aragorn that throws them, so it's a human.
It was Legolas that throws.
No, it's
Aragorn.
There's Aragorn,
it's Aragorn
that throws him in Helm's Deep.
So it would be like this whole thing is like if I was playing Aragorn, I'd be like, yeah, but also I have an athletic speed that allows me to get advantage any kind of athletic feat I do. So I would like to use that. Would that kick in? Even though, yes, it is a dwarf, I'm still posing an athletic feat.
If you think about it, the argument between the characters of that still only counts as one is definitely a player line. That's a player line.
Totally. Totally is.
It's that thing where like nobody says if it's the player or the character, so we have to assume that it's the character's sake.
Here's the
And
question
still
for you,
only
though.
counts as one. Yeah.
In Lord of the Rings, is Aragorn a half-elf or a variant human?
Variant human.
If you go off the lore, he's a half-elf.
Aragorn is a elf-touched human.
Variant human. That's why I say variant human.
Yep.
Because it's because of that. It's because that's how like a way I would explain like the variant part of it, like why my character's a little bit extra special, is because they're elf. You know, extra special.
I'm playing Gandalf, who is he's not a human, but he appears to be human, but he's basically an ASMR at this point if we're doing D&D.
Yeah.
I'm more of a god, but like I don't like to talk about it, you know.
Okay, sorry, Gandalf falls down the pit. You take 800 points of fall damage. You're gonna have to roll up a new character. Here's my new character, Gandalf the White.
Gandalf, like, it's also like equivalent of like Gandalf, like falling down the pit. It's like, and Gandalf, you fall down the pit facing the Balrog. So Gandalf's player is going to be leading for a bit. So you guys continue your mission. Gandalf will have some one-on-one chats between me and you, what you were doing between the time of you fell down the pit and everything. So once you reunite with the party, that will happen. And that, like, when Gandalf's player comes back on vacation, that's when Gandalf reunites with the party.
I cast Earthquake to make the Balrog drop. All right, the Balrog drops. But as a reaction, as a legendary action, they are going to use their trip attack with their Fire Whip. So does a 26 hit? Fuck, that hits. All right, you have to make a strength saving throw to make sure that you're not pulled down with the Balrog. Okay. Damn it, I rolled a 4. All right. You are going to fall, but I'm going to give you the chance to say one thing to the party before you fall. Flavors.
And then there's an argument that goes on for years upon years with people at the table. Oh, he totally said fly, you fools. No, he did not. He didn't say fly, you fools. It was fly, you fools is what he said.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he meant fly, you fools, as we should flee. He had access to fucking eagles. He was telling us to use the eagles.
And then it was like, so why didn't you use the eagles for the first time? Well, first of all, I didn't have a spell slot for that spell. How do you look asking that?
I didn't prepare it in my spellbook for the day. It's like the idea of the fact that the Gandalf the Great, like the actual character, died, and so the player who's so attached to this character just made a brand new character named Gandalf the White.
Yeah.
It's the exact same character.
And there's that awkward moment of Gandalf, you're back. Back? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not Gandalf the Grey. I'm Gandalf the White. Now let me summon Shadowfax, the horse I've had this whole time. Don't ask questions. And can we just say timeout? Like, hold on. There's no better representation of mounts in Dungeons and Dragons than Shadowfax, because Lord of the Rings does a whole thing in the books where they tell you how dope a mount Shadowfax is. It moves incredibly fast. It's one of the greatest horses in all of existence, and it's in like 2 scenes.
That's it.
Hey, Al, I know that you really miss Boromir, so I'm back from vacation with my new character. It's Boromir's brother, Faramir. Those are just shadow facts. You're right.
Yeah.
We got to do a better job with mounts in D&D, y'all.
Yeah,
we
really.
got to do a better job.
D&D does nothing with some mount representation. There's zero like animal representation outside of Drizzt's panther. That's it. Like, you don't know. I lied. Drizzt's panther and Boo. Those are the only 2 real
Open the eyes, Boo.
Yeah, that's it. That's the only 2 people remember.
I have no
We need
idea
more
what
of
the
that.
fuck that is.
Boo is a miniature giant space hamster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's
What is this
Minsk's animal companion.
Who?
Minsk is one of the Forgotten Realms lore people.
Oh, I don't do
Minsk is
Forgotten
like a
Realms.
fighter ranger, I think.
I think he's a fighter ranger. Yeah, it's like a fighter ranger or something. But yeah, there's like
He's got like a
Like,
big
when he's-
purple
It would be easier if Beastmaster didn't
center.
suck as a subclass. Celeste coming out here, bucking shots, baka.
Damn Celeste. He's just out here like, just dropping the real truth bombs right now.
Yeah, Spelljammers let you have
yeah,
you get giant space hamsters, but Boo is a miniature giant space hamster. Also, I would argue Silgar is Xanathar's pet goldfish.
That's true, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean that's just funny.
My favorite part of lore is that Xanathar doesn't realize that Silgar actually dies, and part of the Xanathar Guild's job is to occasionally replace the goldfish, so that way Xanathar doesn't know that Silgar has died.
But these are familiars, not mounts, right?
Well, no. So no, these aren't either. Well, so the Xanathar goldfish is just a real goldfish.
Yeah.
But there's you're right. These are not even familiars or mounts. These are just animal companions.
Yeah.
I mean, there isn't a lot of lore behind familiars and mounts in D&D.
So one of the things, because I'm putting together a system of my own, and one of the things that I wanted to do with classes that have familiars, or if anybody takes the find familiar spell, is and hear me out on this idea, because I've been really wrestling with it. I think the entire point of the familiar is that there's a bit of the master's soul in the animal, right? That's why they're so special. So I think resurrections should be cheaper if you have access to that caster's familiar.
Oh.
That's a very interesting sell.
That is
either cheaper or easier.
A resurrection ritual, if you actually go by instead of just it's resurrection, boop, you're alive again. Yeah. If you
go by Mercer's rule, for resurrections, which I really like, because I hate just, hey, you died, but now you're back, everything's okay.
Yeah.
I think that there should be some bonus to the ritual if you have access to the familiar.
I find another way to even go on what you said there. If you had access to the familiar, if you didn't have access to familiar, but what if it was something that something of power that the character had beforehand, that they put all their into it. For example, if you had a character's spell book, you could use that instead of the regular price for resurrection.
I would make it so the wizard would have had to have done something to the spell book to put some of their soul in it, which would be a costly thing, but it would also add a benefit to the spell book. But I really do dig the idea of, because I mean, I don't know, I wizards are interesting in the sense that there's supposed to be such importance placed on the spell book, but there's no real mechanics or anything to symbolize that,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And and when you look at a lot of the wizard subclasses, there's only one subclass for it, where it's that whole subclass where it's your spell book is basically your familiar. That is one version.
Ooh.
It's your spell book is alive. And that is one subclass of wizard. And I really love it. I love it because you can get some straight up page master level shit going along with it. But what I really like, I know, right? I love page master. But what I liked about what that main whole thing of it was the wizard is putting a bit of their own self into this spell book. I always felt that what you're saying, that should have been a basic mechanic for all wizards right off the bat. It's yes, you make a spell book, so you're putting a little bit of your essence into it.
You just gave me the idea for a subclass that I really want to do now, which is kind of like a Beastmaster class for wizards, except that their animal companion is the spell book, and the stronger the wizard gets, the stronger the creature that the spell book can become. is. Like
Ooh.
imagine you have to retrieve an ancient wizard spell book, and you're like, "Where's the book?" You just look at the dragon and go, it's that." And
That
there's
awesome.
a spell in that book that you have to defeat the dragon or talk to the dragon to get them to
Acquire.
revert back to their
Yeah.
book form. Oh my
Oh,
god,
that
that's
was-
fucking
That's so
sick.
cool.
That
Okay.
is awesome. I love that.
So, jumping off of that thing that you said earlier with like animal companions would make like the resurrection ritual easier because it's like a part of their soul. Would you then, by that same token, say that warlocks would be more difficult to resurrect?
Yes. Yeah, I think so, because like a good example I would go with this is that with a warlock resurrection, that's not something you should just be able to do. I think when someone does a resurrection spell on a warlock, you're not just bringing the warlock back to life, you are recreating the contract that was made between this person and whatever patron was created. I was involved with them being a warlock. I feel like when someone resurrects a warlock, there has to be something involved with their patron.
Yeah, the way I see it is the entire point of the warlock patron relationship is that the patron is trying to get something out of their warlock.
Mhm.
And if their warlock wasn't good enough to get it done and they die, like it's just like that was a waste. Now, if somebody's trying to resurrect the warlock, the patron should have the soul. So it's just like, oh, you want them back? Well, they died doing this for me. So, you do this for me and I'll gladly let you try the ritual.
Yeah.
But I think the ritual should auto fail unless you're either on good terms with the patron or if you do something with the patron. Hey, Diana.
Diana.
It is not an official stream until we give Diana their props.
Let's go.
We love one whole Diana.
We love this Diana.
He's the best in the business. But yeah, no, I love that. And I think some people will be mad at that. Like, why am I being punished for playing a class? Like I feel like you're punishing me for playing a warlock. And I kind of feel like that's part of what makes the warlock special, is that there is so much tethered to the class,
I agree that it always feels like I love when a DM really leans hard into the fact that this character is playing a character that is tied to something much bigger than all of this.
Right.
They are on borrowed time of something.
Mhm.
And I love that kind of stuff. And I know there was that whole discourse recently about DMs who play with the whole consequences and thing. Because Dylan just brought up a great thing in chat right now, saying built-in consequences are great, because it's like you got to remember, yes, you are this character who has all these amazing warlock powers, but you were given to them with a cost, for a price. There was something in there that you are sacrificing or giving up that gave you these powers. And I like it when the DM turns around and just kind of does a little subtle reminder of you do realize what you're doing here is on my dollar. Yes, you just did this, but do I approve of what you did?
I feel like it's the GM's responsibility to make every choice that a player makes feel weighty. Every choice that you make, from race to or from lineage to class, every choice that you make has to have a consequence. Mm-hmm. And that's just everything on the character sheet is up for grabs. And I try to tell people that, from something as simple as having ball bearings and caltrops to being a cleric or a wizard. Like if like think about it. Like, and this is something that I always ask people, which is like if you are pulled over, right? And the cops see caltrops in your shit. What assumption do you think they're gonna make? That you're up to no good? Everything has consequences, even the stuff that we don't think about. And so I love games like that where something that, you know, okay, I just picked to have my traveler's pack as my starting equipment. I love when like that mindless choice comes back to bite me in the ass. It's just like you should have thought about what you were carrying.
Why you got lockpicks on you?
Yeah, why? Yeah, why? Why do you have it? It's like whenever someone multi-classes or takes a feat, and I always ask people, it's like, so why did they multi-class that? And they said, oh, well, I wanted this synergy with my character. I'm like, that's really cool. But why did your character multi-class into that? What was that big event that caused the character to, like, who was on this path of being a rogue or a wizard, suddenly made them want to just pick up a sword every now, just pick up a sword or something? Who made them want to stop being a rogue and start casting spells? Like, what was it that made them do this? Like, what caused you to get this really cool feat? What caused you to do this? It's like, if you're like, it just goes like right where you're saying like everything on your character sheet is up for grabs. All your stat gains that you made during the course of the game, have them tell a story, you know? Don't just like make your gains because you want to like be better at this. Like, do it, but you know, have it tell a story at the same time, you know? Make it like
Exactly.
Explain why suddenly at the next ability score improvement did they suddenly get a point up in charisma? Why did they suddenly do that? You know, explain your growth. And I feel like when it comes to D&D, they don't really push that. That's like my biggest gripe with D&D is they don't push explaining why your character has these new points of growth, why the character at level 6, they can do something they couldn't do at level 4. Explain that. Explain
and that is
why
my
that is.
favorite thing is just like when somebody gets a new spell, it's like that is a moment. That especially a spell like Revivify, right? Like that is you are essentially bringing someone back from the dead. The first, like, even if you study it in theory and you're like, I think I can do this, the first time you actually do it, it shouldn't be like, I cast Revivify, you're good. Like, this is you controlling life or death. Let's get into it. There's sauce here.
For me, when I played an Artificer, and I love Artificer. They're one of my favorite character classes. But I was playing the Artillerist Artificer. That was something I wanted to do. That was my intent of playing this character, Artificer, like Artillery. At level 5, they get an Arcane Firearm, where they get to create a wand or a staff or a rod into a firearm that they can cast their spells out of. As soon as my character hit level 3 and I chose that subclass, I kept on saying my character is gathering random items to do something. And there was at one point where we found mammoth bones. And I was like, I would like to take those mammoth bones and use them for something. And I was only level like 3. Then when we hit level 4, there was something we encountered, like this really highly conductive metal. I was like, I want that metal. I just explained like why my character was gathering these really unique things. And then when level 5 hit, I said, now you're going to see the product of everything I was working on for these past 2 levels. And I pull out this Arcane Firearm and I describe saying, yeah, it has the stock of the mammoth bone. It uses the metal that we found. I was explaining every single thing that I found over the course of these 5 levels. And I put them all to use into making this Arcane Firearm. And it made that feature feel more personal to me. Because I didn't just say I did the feature. I didn't just say, yeah, I do it. I didn't just say I did it, you know? I explained why my character did it. I explained how my character got to this point of doing it. And I feel like D&D doesn't do that. It doesn't have any reason to explain why your character suddenly can do this thing at this point. Like, perfect example, the Psi-Fighter. Why does your character suddenly, at level 3, suddenly can do brain jammings? You weren't doing brain magic before. Why are you doing it now? What
unlocked in you?
Yeah, exactly. Explain that stuff. You as the player should really explain it. Don't just say you do it. Explain it, you know?
And that's one of the things that you bringing up Artificer actually brings up a memory that I had with one of my first times GMing a 5th edition game. I didn't know that the Artificer had Revivify. And I had a player that was just like, well, I kind of want it, but we already have a cleric that has it, so I don't know the benefits of it. And I'm like, look, just because they have it doesn't mean that your character can't have it. And so I was explaining to them, like, look, no two characters cast Fireball the same. The magic in all of this is that your magic is unique to you and their magic is unique to them. And, and I was explaining that, and we got to the point where the cleric dropped and the Artificer had Revivify. And I was like, he was like, okay, I cast Revivify. And I was like, all right, tell me what it looks like. And because of our talk, he had a description planned, and it is the best thing I've ever heard. And this is somebody that is new to D&D, and just, it was so amazing. Their Revivify was a Ghostbusters ghost trap. So the cleric goes down and they kick this device over to the cleric and they press a button, and you see the cleric's soul going to the deity, and the soul catcher traps it and puts it back in the soul capture, and there's a syringe that pops out and he pumps it into the cleric's body, and it put the soul back into the body. And I'm like, that is the dopest way to imagine an Artificer bringing body back to the dead, bringing back somebody back from the dead. I'm like, that is sick.
That is fucking clutch. I was gonna say my Artificer story, but shit, that one is fucking clutch, because that's what I love about Artificers so much. It's because
I don't even like Artificers, but that was like,
yeah. You are playing a class that is that can't cast magic, but you're doing magic. It is so awesome. Like, all right, so one time my Artificer, we were trying to climb up a mountain. So everyone else had ways to climb up the mountain except my Artificer. The Artificer looked at the druid and was like, transform into a mountain goat. The druid transformed to a mountain goat, and it's like, next. Now what do you want me to do next? I was like, I cast Longstrider on the mountain goat. And the DM's like, well, how does it look like when you cast Longstrider? I was like, all right. I said that my Artificer pulls out these 4 devices and attaches it to the hooves of this goat. And I press a button, and suddenly 4 little exhaust tubes come out of each of those little devices.
Rocket goat!
As I hop onto this goat and I grab onto the horns, and we just peel up the mountain speeding, because already mountain goats already have a 6 speed going up. They don't suffer from any of the vertigo. They don't have to make any checks or anything. So he's just speeding up in this mountain. And then I said that as soon as we get to the top, we do a straight up Akira slide as we peel off onto the peak of the mountain and just slide across the ground. And I love Artificers for that. You just describe stuff like that. And that's not even just for Artificers. Do that with anything in D&D. Like, go buck wild with a spell. Because remember, you look at the spell, that's just what the spell can do. But it takes it on you. And this is not just for like players, this is also for DMs also. It's describe what it looks like when the spell happens, because that just draws everyone in at the table even more so. It just makes them like less white bread.
Thank you. Like that, I think that's the weakness and the strength of 5th edition, which is they give you the mechanics, which is this spell does this. And they don't give you much after that. And so that you can either see that as like, well, that just means that I just do the thing and it happens and that's it. Or you can really make it your own. Like, who says a fireball has to come out of your hands? I had a player describe their fireball, and they just described it by everybody in the area starts to sweat and sweat and sweat and sweat, and then they just burst into flames. And I'm like, well, fuck me. Like, that's awesome.
Like, yeah, you don't need, and that's the thing, is like, you can even put your own spin on things by looking at the material components of spells.
Oh yeah.
Like,
and speaking, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, is speaking of like components for spells, I think besides the spell book, besides the spell book, one of the most overlooked things in D&D to me is the Arcane Focus.
Yes.
This is the thing that is enabling you to cast your spells. And so many people just pick, well, I have an amulet. I have a ring. That's my Arcane Focus. Great. Do you know who really likes amulets and rings? Pickpockets. I cannot tell you the amount of times where I've told players, you are walking into like a thieves playground. And they're like, okay. And I'm just like, all right, what's your passive? And the next time you try to cast a spell, okay, what's your focus? I'll have a ring. Do you?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I will never ever punish my players, but it's also at the same time I'm like, look, you are walking around with just stuff hanging off of you, being gaudy into a known thieves district. I mean, I gave you the warnings beforehand.
This is the natural consequences of those actions. We come back to that.
Like I will never ever punish players. Never. Like I will never punish them for something. But if I explain to you the situation from top to bottom, saying you are walking into a place that is known for pickpocketers, and then you get mad at me when you say my stuff is gone, and I say, well, it's because I said you are walking into a place known with pickpocketers. What is your passive perception? It's
I think my rule is this. I have to think about all of the villains in the world. I have to think about all of the animals, all of the random dangers, the political structure of the world, the economic structures of the world, as well as all of my players. If I'm thinking more about your character sheet than you are, hey.
It sucks because it's also, it's like, look, play your character, dude. Like, what is, like, play your character? I mean, is it just a bunch of numbers on your sheet, or is this a character to you? Did you put some love into this character, you know? And I think that when you doing what you did is a great way of you taking this player who might even be a new person playing the game and explain to you, like, look, this is more than just a character sheet. This is more than just a bunch of numbers on a piece of paper. This is someone you made and brought into this world. And I'm going to do my best to make you realize this is a living, breathing, existing being. And you're either going to hate me or you're going to love me for it. And I think that is one of the big things a DM should do, is that make that character feel more than it was just a sheet with numbers and words on it.
Exactly. I mean, and I love when a GM hits me with some shit that I just was not thinking about, because that's like, fuck, that's on me. I should have been thinking about that because it's my character.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that I should have had in mind when I was like making this. We've been at this for an hour and a half so far.
Have we? Shit.
Do we want to take a quick 10-minute break and then come back with questions about other things within the TTRPG space?
Sure, I'm down. This time has been going by real quick. It's almost like I'm enjoying the conversation.
Hey, how about that? Hi, Gnome.
He is a gnome.
It's a whole gnome.
It's a gnome.
All right, y'all. We're going to go on a quick 10-minute break. We will see you all back here in about 10 minutes.
Bye.
That's how we do on critical misses.
Hey, y'all. We're back.
That's how we do it here. That's how we do it.
We don't fuck around on this show.
Don't fuck around.
I thought we fucked around and found out.
Exactly. When we found out, that's how we keep people. I busted that little Nas KK slider track.
This is going to be the weirdest DMCA strike ever.
This is a certified hood classic.
I'm afraid of what just awakened in me.
Magic is what awakened in
Now
you.
that you figured out how to do that, we're going to have some real fun.
Oh. A new power has been unlocked, guys.
Yep.
New powers have been unlocked.
Oh, God. Diana, you missed it a little earlier today. We casted a live action Animal Crossing movie where everybody is going to be their animated villager self except for one person, and we decided that one person was going to be Lil Nas X, as he will be KK Slider.
It's the
Correct.
only most natural, like, it makes total sense, you know.
It's true.
Totally true.
Oh my God.
Oh gosh.
That's why I kept showing up late.
We had some good casting. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
It's in the thread of you have to like take a movie, replace everybody with Muppets but one person.
But we did the opposite, and Blathers is gonna be played by Cedric the Entertainer, which is I still think
so
the best
much.
choice of all time.
But wait, we didn't choose who was gonna be the villager.
Oh shit, we didn't.
Is it Daniel Radcliffe?
You know what? No, I'm not gonna go with Daniel Radcliffe. For the villager, I think, and I'm gonna get a lot of shit for this choice. Gilbert Gottfried.
The base stock villager kind of does look like a young Gilbert Gottfried. I don't know, it's just got that energy.
Yeah, like, but the thing is, at the same time,
Really like that little Nas X.
really like that little Nas X, and he just shows up on the middle of the day and sings.
Tracy Morgan as Gulliver, though, was inspired casting.
Oh gosh, that was so good.
Oh my God. This is supposed to be the Dark World section where we get serious. Well, you know what? We had so much fun during the first half. There are some questions that I did not ask, and I need to ask because we do it every episode.
Mhm.
So, Wally, there is a war going on in the TTRPG community between those. Yeah, between those who consider dice to be forbidden candy, right? And they put those forbidden candies in their mouth and they crunch on them. So the war is between the crunchers and the people who want to stop the crunch because dice don't go in your mouth because that's disgusting. So, what side of the war are you on, Wally? Do you believe that dice belong in mouths or dice don't belong in mouths? I respect that you're taking a lot of
the glasses came off.
The glasses came off. This is serious. This is serious. Oh, we're pulling the mic up.
A lot of people ask me my opinion of Wally. Do you crunch your dice or do you just leave your dice alone? To them, I say, how dare you talk to me? But really though,
Gnome says that this determines whether or not you come back on number.
so in the realm of crunching dice, I am the type of person that enjoys crunching dice, and I enjoy it very much. However, that is why I eat nerds, because when you eat nerds candy, that is the same feeling you can get from crunching dice. To the extent of how much do I crunch my dice. One day, one gnome of Gnome Medic and one Arasavada sent me a bag of dice that was light yellowish in a candy sugar color. My
Like this.
knee-jerk reaction,
Like
that color,
like this
yes,
almost exactly.
yes, like that, yes. Do you know what my knee-jerk reaction was? Oh boy, this is ginger candy shaped dice. Let me eat this. It was not. So yes, I am in the crunch category.
You've broken my heart.
Look.
Was it an accidental crunch or was it an intentional crunch? Was it a crunch didn't?
You know what? Don't no. We're not gonna skip over that like you just didn't do that in front. I'm gonna shame you in front of everybody.
Do it. I have no shame.
Dare you?
I have no shame.
No, we not gonna pretend crotch didn't. It's
Was it a crunch didn't?
I can't stand you. I can't stand you.
You love me. Don't you fucking deny.
I would like if someone could like clip this into like some like A&E level drama of like, we all thought WallE was cool until they crossed the dice and everything goes like all black and white, slowly zooms in on my face.
You never know. That's why we have to ask so we can expose these crotches that are hiding in our midst, so that we know who the enemies are and who the cowards are. That's you, Brendan. Brendan Lee Mulligan, I'll never forgive you for sitting on the sidelines of this war.
Well, I give Brendan Lee Mulligan a little bit of pass of that, because Brendan Lee Mulligan is one of like the 20 children out there who are Digimon fans. Digimon the Champions. But you gotta understand, it's a small group of us. And
there are dozens of us.
There are dozens of us. Thank you. There are dozens of us.
Dozens.
Yo, I was a Pokemon kid, not a Digimon kid, but let me give Digimon the respect it deserves. They actually let their protagonists get old.
Yeah.
And like the older they get, the more real shit gets, from what I hear.
Yep.
Respect to them. Respect.
Ty deals
I
with
hear
some
motherfuckers
with
die in Digimon.
Ty deals with some fucking PTSD in Digimon Adventure Try.
You have one episode where Ty's sister gets kidnapped by the Digimon equivalent of Dagon, and they recreate the story Shadow over Innsmouth as an episode of Digimon. Like it gets real. All right.
So, I will say this. As I have grown older, I've realized that several of the choices that I have made in my youth was wrong. Harry Potter versus Animorphs. I should have picked Animorphs. I picked Harry Potter.
Yeah.
I was wrong. Pokemon versus Digimon. I picked Pokemon. I should have picked fucking Digimon. I understand that I was wrong. Oh my, see, this is what happens anytime you mention Animorph. Like, it's like the Animorph fans fucking Animorph into Animorph fans. It's just...
you like Animorphs...
All it is just like the same person, just with a different t-shirt, like one that just says thermals.
No, it's so true. It is so true. I don't know when it happened exactly, but Animorphs fans have become bold. There was a time no one talked about they were Animorphs fans. I don't know what the fuck happened in 2020.
I know what happened. I know what happened. I can tell you what happened. The the author of Animorphs started bucking shots at JK, and everybody was like, we knew it. We should have been fucking with you this whole time. Like,
so that's how it started.
The Animorph fans started coming out the wood where it's like, you Harry Potter motherfuckers chose the wrong choice. because like somebody asked the Animorphs author, like, yo, you know, JK is a TERF. How do you feel about trans individuals? And the author of Animorphs was just like, I love trans individuals. Like, you know, they exist. They deserve to be respected, and I don't agree with JK at all. And everybody was like, baka.
No, I'm just pointing out that Applegate has a trans child.
Yeah, so like,
Applegate came out into these streets and said, yo, JK, what's good?
Pretty much, she hit him with the Nicki Minaj Miley moment.
Diana, Harry Potter, what if wizards didn't have toilets? Animorphs, what if the living envied the dead? You're not wrong.
You're not wrong. You ain't
Jesus
wrong.
Christ. So I actually want to make it a goal next year to read all of Animorphs. Like for next year, I'm starting a blog because I need to like get in the habit of writing daily. And one of the things that I want to do is like to blog about learning a new skill. I've decided what the skill is, but I am still ashamed to tell people what it is. So we're not going to talk about it.
Why not?
We're not gonna talk about it. We're not gonna talk about it until the blog comes out. And the second thing that I want to blog about is catching up on Animorphs. And like, if somebody wanted to talk, if I had an Animorph friend that wanted to like talk me through it, like I wouldn't mind that terribly. But
I think you have no shortage of people in chat that would be more than willing to do an Animorphs podcast with you.
There are several podcasts I want to do. I'm not going to say what they are, but several of them are involving in embracing media and talking about how much I love it. You should definitely do something like this. Like, do like 3 books and just talk about them.
So Noir,
per episode.
What's the skill you're learning?
I'm not telling you.
Is it whistling?
No, I already know how to whistle.
Is it?
But did you know that the Animorphs books are like available free online?
Yeah, totally free.
Like, I was like, I have no reason not to fucking do this. So yeah, I guess I'll do like a book club blog and maybe podcast, and we'll just kind of go over the Animorph series. I hear like, so a couple of my Animorphs friends are just like, wait till you get to the Chronicles, not the first one, the second or third Chronicles is gonna blow your mind. And I'm like, okay, whatever, dude. But like, yeah, I'm excited.
There's a whole conversation happening in chat between Gnome and Diana.
I tell you how many times Morning Ritual has been taken over by fucking Animorphs fans and
Animorphs are awesome. Legit. It is so legit. All right.
I also want to rewatch the Animorphs TV show, and this is where everybody's like, "Ooh."
Oh no! See,
I always get when I say that.
We don't talk about that.
Let me pump the brakes on that big shoot. All right, so
Sean Ashmore was hot. You're right.
Yes, Sean Ashmore was everyone's queer or straight awakening. Yes, however, it's just bad. It's just bad. Like on like quality of like this should have been a little better kind of stuff. When they had it filming alongside of like, Are You Afraid of the Dark and stuff like that.
Are You Afraid of the Dark was my jam. Like I remember watching like maybe the last 5 minutes of a couple of episodes of Animorphs just because Are You Afraid of the Dark was coming on next. Like the only thing I know about Animorphs, and I don't know if this like is like a big thing or whatever, or it might be from the beginning, is apparently somebody gets stuck in a hawk. Like that's all I know. That's literally all I know. Yes. And apparently that's some kind of big fucking deal. But other than that,
Yeah, Tobias.
I didn't even know. I didn't.
See now watch. Everyone's gonna start saying QQ Tobias in the chat. Watch. All
What
the
does
animal stands
QQ
are
Tobias mean?
Everyone is gonna. There we go. There it is. Yep. There it is.
Yeah.
There it is. All the Tobias stands are rising up right now.
Wait, no. I know one thing. I know one other thing about Animorphs, which is apparently there's this bloodthirsty girl in it. Like everybody's just like, I'm gonna love her, and I'm like, okay.
You're gonna love Rachel.
Oh, you are going to love Rachel. You are going to put down that book and you're going to contact us like, bruh, I love Rachel. You're gonna make a Twitter post about Rachel. All right? You are going to make a Twitter post about Rachel. All right? Rachel is in these streets. All right? There are people, the characters of the book.
Rachel's hands are rated E for everyone.
Exactly.
I need you to understand that in my mind, Animorphs is this really silly thing where people turn into animals, and y'all are talking about Rachel like throwing hands and shit, and I'm just like,
hands,
claws, by what?
Talons,
everything.
A duck? Like, what the
Rachel
fuck?
versus everyone.
Rachel will fight people. Rachel is on the same level of some Kim Possible and Shigo shit. It is on site with Rachel. She does not fuck around.
I love how fucking
And Rachel is also like
Shit.
honest about how much she fucking likes. Like starts off as like the super girly girl, like prim, proper, like always like cheerleader, does the right thing, but like when she gets the morphing abilities, she gives into bloodlust in such a way that it's just like,
wait, these motherfuckers get bloodlust?
I am afraid of how much I fucking like this. Because this is the first time in my life I actually get to cut loose.
Okay, yeah. Well, y'all making Rachel sound like Wolverine, and so I'm like,
I mean,
just ignore the entire book where she gets an evil clone of herself.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the cool thing about the books. They're very self-contained. All right, this is so great about the books. They're super self-contained stories.
Mm-hmm.
So you can just like power through stuff.
I love how angry Ash looks right now.
She's happy. He's very nice.
But cats always look angry to me. All right, so it seems like my Animorph blog got the green light. We're gonna fucking do this.
I say do it. Totally do it.
It's not even hands. Rachel will throw feet. That's how hard she goes.
Yes. So very true.
I feel so. I don't know how I missed out on because Harry Potter, and like I look like I recently reread the Half-Blood Prince, and it's not great. I'm a little taken aback by how poorly Harry Potter aged, and like even removing JK from it didn't age well.
It did not. Like you really like look back at Harry Potter and you read some of this stuff, and yeah, if you do, when you do separate JK from the equation and just read it, and you're like, this isn't that great. Like this was a whole book about camping, you know. And you know who doesn't have a whole book about camping? Animorphs and Percy Jackson.
That's another series that I need to read. It's the Percy Jackson.
Okay.
Because I made the mistake of saying, the movies are pretty good, and I got roasted. Oh boy, I'm about to get roasted again.
Excuse you? First of all, who doesn't love you that introduced Percy Jackson to you as the movies? All right.
I saw the movie before I even knew it was a book.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. So the Percy Jackson books is on a whole nother level than the movies. Yeah, the movies are like these weird, like fun little, like, teenage, like camp movies with mystical elements. Yeah, it's cool, but the books are on a whole nother level.
Doesn't Percy have like a motorcycle that has like the seats are made of Caucasian skin?
Yes. Percy Jackson has a motorcycle in one book. There is another. There's so much.
It
awesome
specifically says Caucasian skin for the
Yeah.
seats.
Yeah.
This motherfucker rolling on white people.
Look, the books are buck wild. All right, just read the books in comparison to like the movie. Because yes, playing Hades made me want to reread Percy Jackson books. All right, that's how good those Percy Jackson books are. Like everyone used Zagreus as like, oh, I'm this broody character. I'm doing everything I need to do, even though I am the son of Hades. I'm going to fight from by my mother and make my way up through the levels of the underworld sphere. Where in the Percy Jackson books, you know what the son of Hades is? It's this kid with anxiety. I relate to that kid so much. I relate to Nico so much on a level of like, yo, I got all this power. I got a lot of fucking power. But you know what also I have? Anxiety, intrusive thoughts. I love these characters.
Isn't it
so
like
much in the Percy
most
Jackson
deities
book.
have some sort of neurodivergence? Like most
Yes,
demigods have some
that's-
sort of neurodivergence, like
exactly.
ADHD or.
Yes, that's why he wrote the books. He wrote the books because he wanted to give kids who are neurodivergent someone to look up to in books and media. Because the reason why is all the half-blood characters they have this weird thing where they have dyslexia, because when they are looking at through the veil that separates the mortal world through the human world, things just don't look right. Things don't feel right. You feel like you are thinking in a different way than everyone else. Is because you're neurodivergent. Is because guess what? You're a demigod. That's why you're neurodivergent. And that is such a cool little message. It's like, you're not weird. You are just the blood of a god flows through your veins. That's why I started reading the book.
I didn't see that's a much better sell than anything that I've gotten so far, because all I got was they got I got yelled at for an hour because apparently they got Athena's daughter really wrong, and my friend was upset about it.
In the movie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they got Annabeth pretty wrong.
I will say this though. I think I did get one book right. I think like back in the day, I read one book, I gave it a chance, and I got it right. And I might have to fight for it. But here we go. I think Twilight was pretty good.
I've never read it.
I never read it. Yeah, so
Twilight's pretty good, and the movies are pretty solid. You know, I stand by that.
I won't lie. The movies are for the product of what they were at the time. Yeah, they were fine movies. It was just that they had a lot of stigmata coming into them.
Yeah, well, I'll say this much though: what makes the movies good is that Robert Pattinson hates them, and he plays Edward the way Edward is, not the way Edward reads. And Robert Pattinson plays Edward like a lunatic because he is a lunatic. And like in the books, they like idolize him and they make him like, oh, he's just this dreamy guy. And Robert Pattinson's like, no, he's a stalker. He's an abusive dickhead. So I'm gonna play him like that. And it's perfect.
Books are a better read when you don't interpret Bella Swan as the hero of the story. She's the protagonist, but she's not the hero.
That's exactly it. And the world of Twilight is fucking dope, but they focus on this love story that's not great. Like, it's not good. But if you ignore that and pay attention to the world, it's really freaking cool. Like, Jacob is a shapeshifter, not an actual werewolf. And like every time they bring up werewolves in the world of Twilight, I love the reaction to werewolves in the world of Twilight, which is like somebody calls Jacob a werewolf. He's like, yo, don't fucking call me that. I'm not a werewolf. And like even Edward's like, no, Jacob's not a werewolf. Werewolves are a problem. We don't deal with werewolves. If there's a werewolf around, we get the hell out of here. Like So it's just like werewolves are this like really creepy, scary thing in the world of Twilight, which is filled with these creepy, scary things, and everybody is terrified of them. And I want to know why, and it's never brought up. And it's one of those things that, as somebody that loves werewolves, it drives me nuts, because I'm like, what is it about werewolves that has everybody pressed? Like the shapeshifters, the vampires that are like basically the Avatar and mutants, like everybody's like, we don't fuck with werewolves, we just leave them alone.
Second half of the fourth book goes hard as fuck. Where was all that world building in the first 3 books?
That's what I fucking want to know. Even the Voltari are scared of werewolves, and I'm like, why?
Apparently I need to read the Twilight books. Apparently,
you just really like. There's a lot of stuff that you just have to like read through and not pay attention to, and pay attention to everything else. Like the most interesting character in all of Twilight is Carlisle, which is the father figure of the Cullens. Carlisle used to go hard. Like Carlisle was this vampire that was like going hard and then stopped. He just fucking stopped. It was like, I'm not going to eat people no more. And everybody's like, you? Why are you stopping? He's like, I'm just, And then he became a doctor to get good at being around blood and not going nuts because of it. And then he raised this entire family and taught them how to be vegetarians. And everybody's just like, Carlisle? Like, are you sure? That's the motherfucker that just stopped?
You know what?
Okay.
This just makes me think is that I am so tired of like stories where whenever there's like vampires, like the vampires have like this rich, deep like nobility to them. Like they have like all these laws in various houses. Man, give me that stuff for werewolves, man. Like give me like something like that where werewolves aren't like always like this, like, yup, we grew up in the forest, we have flannels and jeans. Now give me some of that like stuff where like werewolves are just as civilized and refined and got like nobility like vampires. I want more stories like that. I need more stories like that.
So I am putting together, the cat's out of the bag. I'll fucking announce it because I ran a test of it this week. I'm going to be putting out a show called Weekly Shadows or Wednesday Shadows, one of those. I haven't picked the name yet. And I'm using the Urban Shadows system. And it's based on my world, Trouble in the Second City, which I've renamed to Wednesday Shadows. And essentially what I want to do is I want to have rotating cast members where people can come back as the characters that they were and like interact with different people playing in the same world. And I've got werewolf lore that I love. And like I love werewolves, and I think that they get utterly disrespected, and it sucks. Because I think werewolves are like one of the coolest monsters out there. And all I want to do is just blah on my werewolf lore because I think it's good.
It is good werewolf lore from what I recall of the Chicago setting and what happened to werewolves.
Werewolves in my world got so fucking, like, they got so organized and so, like, they got so organized and so influential and powerful. And they started working with, indigenous people and minorities and people of color. They started to pretty much, do what I based them basically off of Fred Hampton, essentially, which is like, nice. Why are we all fighting each other? Look, I don't want to be here. You don't want to be here and all that kind of stuff. So let's work together. And the people that wanted to work together, they were like, all right, bet. And so they were strategically turning people and forming a coalition of just everybody. Because the one thing about werewolves that I love is that you can have a werewolf that is a CEO and a werewolf that is a janitor, and all of the preconceptions that would have separated these two people in life go away once they're a pack member. it's like the ultimate unifying thing. And
I like that a lot.
And so it was just like you're now having like, you know, senators talking with regular people, not because like that's the right thing to do, but because the regular person is a member of their pack. So it's a lot easier for them to empathize because now you're feeling what they're going through. And this is something that the ruling class could not handle. And so they rounded up all of the alphas, and the Great Chicago Fire happened where they took out a bunch of alphas. Now, in my world, alpha isn't like I'm the toughest guy around. It's the person that has talked to the wolf spirit inside them and they're working together instead of treating it like a curse. So in my world, the idea that we're like lycanthropy is a curse is propaganda that makes it so that newer werewolves never truly understand their full potential. It's a whole thing.
Well, that sounds awesome, though. No, that's so really awesome. Like, because it goes to the whole thing. Like I've always said, I've always just tired of werewolf stories where the werewolves are like on the struggle bus. I hate seeing the werewolves are always on some struggle bus trying to like fit in or something. Like no, like what's there to say they aren't living in the upper echelons of society? They're just also werewolves, you know? Like I love what you just said there. That is fantastic.
I just love the idea because if you think about all the other monsters that people love, like vampires are so broody and it's all about me. And like, even if I have a coven, like usually there's disputes within the coven. But I love the idea of like, you know, you go out one day, you get bit by a werewolf, and then the next day, somebody knocks on your door and goes, "Hey, sorry about last night. Things are going to be different for you. You mind coming with me while I explain what's going on?" And just that sense of immediate family, where it's just like,
it has big like you become a made man type of thing. Like it could be like the way you described it, it could go one of two routes. You could have someone approaching you about this, like, look, welcome to this, we're a cult basically. Come to this and we will show you the light of the moon and how we are one together in one pack. Or you have like the made man kind of personality of it, like, look, you got bitten and now you're one of us. I'm going to show you what you got to do to make it in this way of life and make money out of this and thrive. You know,
it's also building
all of
lycanthropy is a community.
Yeah.
It's essentially like most packs in my world have a pack bank account where it's just like, yo, you're in look, I can't have like your human side.
Polycule.
I can't have my human side. I can't have my I can't have my pack member on the human side struggling because that'll affect you as a wolf. And that'll affect the pack. So like, if you need anything, like Richard here in the pack is a hedge fund guy. He's like, hey, how's it going? And like, you know, he's put about 15% of his profits into a bank account and we all put in a little bit. So you should be fine, but we'll teach you the ways of being a werewolf. And I'm a carpenter. So if you want to learn how to be a carpenter, or if you want to learn what this wolf knows or what that wolf knows, yeah, we can teach you. Like, it's just, I love the really idea of a pack being fucking solid.
Yeah.
Squad.
Squad. Because like I respect the shit out of Underworld, but again, it's that like all the wolves in Underworld feel like hobos. Like
exactly.
they're living in sewers.
So much. I love Underworld, but I hate that the werewolves are struggling. Why are they struggling? It made no sense.
The ultimate found family trope.
Pretty much. Like, yeah. Why shouldn't they be like? And the other thing is, obviously, in my world, werewolves have telepathy, just in general. And it's like a shared empathy kind of deal as well. So it's just like if something goes wrong with a wolf, even while you're in human form, you know, like, oh shit, one of my pack members is hurt. You pull out the phone, like, hey, who is it? Like all wolves have a group chat. Like essentially, it's just like who's not okay right now, and why, and where are you?
Who's not okay right now? Who do we have to kill, or how do we have to fix it? What do we have to do to fix it?
Yeah, I like that. I like it's like, and when you really look at it, it makes no sense that they always put the vampires as like the ruling party, because like really, a party that is always constantly against themselves is doomed to fail. But if you have like a pack of wolves who are there looking out for each other, it would make more sense that they were really in power than the vampires had more power.
It's like so much infighting and politicking with vampires.
Yeah.
And inherently, you have to me, you have to be more responsible as a werewolf, because you've got to structure your whole life around the full moon.
Yeah.
Like that's not easy. That's really not easy. So like the idea of like these of werewolves being like hobos that don't have their shit together has never made sense to me. Like as a CEO, as even like a fucking retail worker, like making sure you have that day off. And like to me, the closer you get to the full moon, the more of that feralness comes out. Like, so you've got to accommodate for that. So it's just like, you know, you've got to be responsible. And if you can't do it, somebody in your pack has to have the resources for you to be able to organize your life for this event. So
it's like a character I played once when Super Dylan was running a game of Werewolf, and I played someone from the Glasswalker group of werewolves, right? And I knew nothing about any of the werewolf lore or anything like that. But I made the character because the way they described it is that they are werewolves who are more in tune with the world of humans and technology and everything. And I made him so that, yeah, this is a werewolf who is exactly like the way you're describing it, in that, yeah, this is a werewolf who is a CEO of a tech firm. He is up there, he makes wheels and deals, he makes big money, but it's also the fact is that he also is fully aware that he's a werewolf. And he feels himself to be in a more dangerous situation than any other werewolf out there, because he was surrounded by other werewolves who gave into that feral side of them. So you saw that they were living that in their way of life. That's their life. But you have him, it's like, I can't do that. I can't suddenly stop being this well kept together person I am, because this is my life. This is the life I live. If I started acting like you, all of this, all the facades, everything starts crumbling down around us. Be glad there are people like me making sure that the secret is up there, that makes sure the veil is up, so people like you can do what you do and live your lives as your best wolves.
Absolutely.
I loved that character so much that at the end of the whole like mini series, we pretty much formed like this council between the vampires and werewolves. And I remember telling Dylan afterwards, like, said, look, if you ever turn this into like actual lore, please turn Loki into a villain, because this is someone I see that would pretty much take this mindset of like, we're out here looking out for each other, bringing everyone together. If you're a vampire or a werewolf, but be certain this: you slip up once, I will rain thunder down upon you.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because there's the idea that I have for my lore, which is the micro community, which is the community within the pack itself, and the macro community, which is werewolves as a whole. And the micro community, they generally tend to take care of themselves. But the macro community is posture check. But the macro community is all about making sure, like, there are hunters in this world. There are people that live solely to hunt others, which are like your vampires, fae, werewolves, all that good stuff. So making sure that there's not a pack out there that's wilding out is for the benefit of wolves everywhere. Because if there is one pack that's just like, hey, fuck it, let's just go nuts, that's going to bring heat on everybody. So generally the way that's handled is like representatives from all the packs around the surrounding area will go and talk to the pack that's wilding out, like, hey. And they tend to do this as their human forms, which is like, hey, we sent an email, we sent a text, y'all got to chill the fuck out. If you need some instructions on how to let the wolf out and embrace that feralness, but still do it in a way that's responsible, we've got contacts. We've got, Richard, our hedge fund guy. He's bought acres of land filled with game. You can go there, and we've made sure that it is private property, so nobody's around. So you're not just going to kill people willy-nilly. And if you do need to kill people willy-nilly, here are the days where we have our enemies go into that private property, and you can just hunt them.
Yeah, it would be a thing of like, you can do what you want to do. Be smart about it.
Exactly.
And so if you aren't smart about it, we will remind you why you were not smart about it, and we will come after you.
I mean, you need instructions. Check the SharePoint site.
Pretty much, we've got a SharePoint and we've got a Slack. Mm-hmm. We've got our own Reddit board. Like, the idea that werewolves are not organized makes no fucking sense to me.
It makes no sense at all whatsoever.
Like, I know people in the TTRPG community that if they got bit, they would have the shit organized.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you mean to tell me that not one project manager has ever been bit? You mean to tell me that not one project manager has ever called lycanthropy?
Exactly. You can't tell me it has never been considered once in their lives.
If Marisha Ray got turned into a werewolf, shit would be organized flat in a week. Like, hold on, here we go. This is how we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna do this as a community now. Okay, and of course, you're gonna get assholes
in the Critical Role studio.
How do you know? Like, what's there to say the Critical Role studio isn't already made just in case someone got bit by a werewolf or a vampire?
Can I tell you something that I have in my world that I'm so proud of, but it's so dumb? There are two things that werewolves have come up with in my world that I absolutely love, which is that a lot of werewolves have purchased U-Haul franchises, and the ones that have turned them into U-Crawls. So if you're a werewolf and you were unorganized and you need a place to shift really quickly, you can go to your local U-Haul, and there's a good chance that it's owned by a werewolf, and there are special storage facilities just for a last second turning.
Oh, I can see that. Yes. I
like,
totally see that.
Get your ass in that fucking room. There's meat in there. Lock up.
Oh yeah, I can totally see that. And like, I can totally see like a big conflict in a world like that would be that there are those who don't meet certain, like, who are at certain levels of disenfranchisement that it doesn't benefit them, and they will raise a fist up and try to like march by their own drum within all of these smaller pack micro communities, where it's like we feel like we're being treated unfairly. And I can feel like that could be like a good story beat. One group definitely does not feel like, even though yes, the system has been working very well, there was one group is like, is it though? And that could be like a good story beat.
So it's very funny that you mentioned that. In this week's game of Weekly Shadows, Call Me They, Lex played a werewolf who is part of a ragtag pack that exists solely to find the people that turned them and killed them. Because they hate it. But even they're organized.
Yeah.
So it's just like, damn. But like,
that's good. That's really good.
Like it's just when you become a vampire, your life is essentially over. Like you've got to start over. Like there's no way that you can continue being who you were. As a werewolf, your life is very much not over. You still have to be that person because you don't get the benefits of being like the kind of wolf that can turn on a dime until much later in your existence as a werewolf, or at least to me, or at least until you get on, or at least until you get on good terms with the wolf spirit that's now in you.
It's like it always confused me that whenever you see werewolf characters, there are always these characters who are these broody, self-confident, I'm strong, powerful characters. But that sounds like someone who was born a werewolf. What about the people who suddenly became a werewolf and they didn't want to be a werewolf, but now they are a werewolf? Like, because just because you're a werewolf doesn't suddenly change your personality. No, you're still the same person you are. It's just that for one night out of a whole several months, you cut loose. You know, it's just one night you cut loose out of several others. And that's a thing that
one night every 28 days is not a bad deal.
Yeah, it really isn't a bad deal. So it's like, it feels like that a not enough werewolf fiction explores the fact that there are still people out of every single one of those days, just for just one day, they become an animal. But they're still people. So what is there to say? Like you said, they have not organized it in such a way that it doesn't make that one night a chore for you. And what if there are people who do view this one night the way the organizations are handling that one night? They view it as like, I don't like the way they handle it. I think it should be handled this way. Let's go up straight up purge it. We shouldn't be hiding ourselves and hiding into like storage facilities. Let's go purge the city while we're werewolves. You may have that one kind of like faction. Oh man, you came up with some good stuff too.
I love it so much. I mean, think about people with an agenda, and they're like, for one night we're like this unstoppable, unkillable fucking force of nature. Like this might be a little grim, but I could easily see a group that's just like, we go to the nearest police station and we just wait for the moon.
Yeah, how do you know? Like, how do you know there aren't people who think that? That is such great story ideas, because you have a society who is creating, you have werewolves who have created a fully functioning working society, but there are people within that society who feel like, we shouldn't be doing it like this. We should be doing it like this and benefit ourselves even more so.
And the other thing is, with a lot of these kind of stories, there are questions that immediately come to mind that I don't feel like a lot of fiction has. I don't feel like a lot of fiction has answered it in a way that satisfies me, which is, how you mean to tell me the government hasn't picked up on this yet? Like, what's stopping this from being weaponized? What's stopping the US? Like, let's keep it a buck. You mean to tell me if the United States military found out that werewolves were real, they wouldn't make a fucking unit full of them and just airdrop them in the
wherever there's a problem?
Wherever there's a problem that they don't want to be connected to? Come on.
You're telling me that there aren't like mercenary companies of werewolves?
Exactly. You can't tell me. You cannot tell me there are not werewolves out there hustling, using their skills, what is now gifted to them or cursed to them in some form or fashion to make money. You cannot tell me that is not a thing.
And the thing is, like with vampires, it's a little easier to explain, which is just like you can't just airdrop a fucking vampire because in the morning they got to get the fuck out. Like if you have well-trained soldiers and you just drop them in the morning, they're well-trained soldiers and they can generally get themselves the fuck out. So how do werewolves protect themselves from being abused by governments, by companies, by like all that kind of stuff? And the only way it works is if like they have, and unfortunately this is the case, the only way it works is if at some level there is a Jeff Bezos that has been turned, that has the means, funds, and connections to make sure we don't use wolves like this.
And that is why I told Super Dylan after the one shot was over, can you please make my character a villain? Because it makes sense that it just makes sense.
Werewolf union.
It just makes sense, you know? Because
pretty much a werewolf union, yeah.
Yeah.
You need a werewolf union boss.
And that's why I always laughed at the idea of like the werewolf is the working man's monster.
Yeah.
Because they only function well in life together.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what happened to Jimmy Hoffa? Was Jimmy Hoffa a werewolf and they had to get rid of him?
That would explain everything. That would explain a lot.
Jimmy Hoffa's not buried in a arena. Jimmy Hoffa got ate.
He buried underneath Yankee Stadium. They ate his ass. You know what? Also, and like kind of going with what you were saying, it feels like whenever someone writes the werewolf as the nature person, the broody nature person, I take that as lazy writing.
Like,
because that's
like
such
a kind of granola hippie.
Yeah, why would it just? I'm not saying that it doesn't make sense. It does make sense. It just feels like it's such the easy fallback for werewolves. Like if you look at it with vampires, it's the very easy fallback to make the vampire the cool, suave, sexy character. Just as easy to make the werewolf character the granola hippie, live off the land person. It's the easy fallback.
I want to play a vampire that's just a total dork. Actually, this is Darby's character in Pale Cold Sun.
I mean, but the thing to me is every monster should have a point. Like, why do these things exist? And to me, the purpose of the werewolf is its nature aggressively saying, what happens to me happens to you. Like, werewolves are nature's guardian in the very realest sense. So it's just like, there's no stopping capitalism. Like, it sucks right now, but there's no stopping capitalism. But if you are like Mr. Capitalism and you get bit, now you have incentive to make sure that the woodlands are protected, that that there is a balance, and that's the point of werewolves. It's nature's way of fighting back. Now you can either fight that or you can embrace it. And if you embrace it as a werewolf, you get stronger. That's how you become an alpha. You understand that the wolf that's in me is now a part of me, and I'm not going to fight it. I'm going to work with it. And if you're working with the wolf spirit, then you're working to make sure that nature has a fighting chance. That's the point.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I like that. I love that. That is good stuff. Yeah.
We just went on a full ass tangent about werewolves, but we should. More people need to respect werewolves. God damn it. It's like real wolves over hunting wolves destroyed the ecosystem.
When they brought wolves back to Yellowstone National Park, they realized that life came back to the park.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's the point of like that's it.
Yeah.
And you put that in a person, especially like I love the idea of businessmen werewolves, because it's just like now there are things outside of profits that I have to think about.
With a werewolf with means, a transformation's not a problem. I've got a safe room in my house. I'll just lock myself in there for the month.
Exactly. Like I have a werewolf, like me as a werewolf with means. Oh, that's not an issue. day of full moon. Oh, that's right. I can just bring down my lunar blocking shades on my fallacious apartment, and I'm just gonna chill for the rest of the night.
I just, oh my god, I love it so much. But then, like, even being a werewolf with means, you do still have to worry about hunters, because in my mind, hunters are like nut jobs. They're like human supremacist nut jobs. They don't give a fuck. They truly don't give a fuck. This world exists for humans, not for werewolves, not for vampires, not for fae, not for demons, not for angels. This world exists for humans, and we're going to cleanse the world of any filth. That's all they think. Like, and so even a billionaire has to watch out, because one of these fanatics will get them if they're not careful. And that's the balancing act of the world. It's just like, no matter who you are, where you are, or what means you have, they're still going to try and get you. And I love Urban Shadows because it lets me play that out so well.
Oh, yeah.
It really does, yeah.
There are other questions that we need to get to.
Yes.
Before we...
Right. So, WallE, you have become God Emperor of the TTRPG community. And for one day, anything you wish comes true in this space. If you want Wizards of the Coast to go under, or if you want like Cobalt Press to become the new Wizards or whatever, it happens on a whim. What do you do with 24 hours of this power?
I would like to shine a light on the smaller indie TTRPG groups. I would like so that every one of those smaller groups, like the solo authors or the smaller TTRPG companies, I would make it so that they could get their big shot. Like, I would give them funding so they could do something big with a project. Like, give them like the amount of funding they could need so they could become the next wizard, so they could put out the project that they are the next wizard, the next Pathfinder. I want more games out there that aren't D&D to get the same love and the same shine as D&D gets, because I want those stories to be told, and that is something I would love. That was something I would do. Find a way to make sure those stories are told, because they're out there. There are so many of them are out there. And it's just that, like, to go even further, with a day Dimension 20 did Kids on Brooms, that got me so hyped, because it's like, oh shit, the big names are focusing on the non-D&Ds. Let's fucking go. That got me so excited. And then it just built that now they're just using completely like original engines and mechanics. It's so fascinating. I want more of that. So that is something I would do for the first 24 hours. I would make sure that all of those people who made those fun game engines to get the love that they deserve out there.
Oh, hell yeah. I love that. That's like, that has been an answer that we've heard a lot. And that tells us a lot about the fact that people are seeing these indie designers creating magic, and they're just restricted by their funds. And it's something that's become so very clear and potent that I'm just excited every time I hear that answer. Our next question is, you can play any TTRPG, any 5 people that are alive right now, and you get to choose who the GM is. Who are you picking? To give you some examples, we've had tables with Michelle Obama. We've had tables with Ava DuVernay, Chris Rock, just
Cardi
a
B.
number of folks. Cardi B. God, I want to see Cardi B play a TTRPG so fucking bad. Oh,
I would like a game of masks. Game of masks.
Ooh.
The DM would be Donny Cates. So those who don't know who Donny Cates is if you are a fan of Modern Venom, thank Donny Cates. He is the guy that gave you this is the reason why you like Venom now. He was the guy that took Venom out of like this weird like obscurity that he was in and made him really popular again. He's one of my favorite writers, one of my favorite comic book writers, and I would love if he could just like run a story of masks about a bunch of teenage superhero kids getting to antics. And I think the people it's hard for me to think of like what celebrities I would want to play D&D with or TTRPG with.
It doesn't have to be celebrities.
Oh, good.
Like Red Dot picked her mom. So
oh, that would be good. Like I think for me it would be oh man. I think it would be like basically my roommates that I had, my first group of roommates that I had, because they were all comic book writers. They were like, some of them were editors for Marvel, some of them worked on various comics, and like they're all like comic book writers of some form or fashion. They all work in the industry some form or fashion. So I definitely would want them along with Donny Cates at my table DMing it. I would love that, just because they are just such a creative group of people, and I would love to see them take that creativity and put it into like a TTRPG setting.
Hell yeah. You just living with Marvel editors and shit?
Yeah. My first roommate, he was an editor for Amazing Spider-Man during Stan Slott's run.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
That's a rough game.
Yeah.
I hate that so much.
Yeah. Look, I had to come home to that. So
I can already hear some of the complaints. Why doesn't he turn his shit in? Where are his pages?
It was, yeah. But yeah, like I had a lot of people in my life. It's like whenever I just like kind of sit back and I go, man, I've encountered a lot of really cool people in my life. You know, I've had the honor and blessing to, in like so many circles, even this circle now, the TTRPG community, I'm sitting back, I'm like, yo, I play with a lot of really cool people. And I'm blessed for that. You know, I love that shit. Because like, I get like everyone, like, it came to me when someone made that whole post about who are 3 people you want to play with, but give your reasons. And I'm sitting here going like, man, I already play with everybody I ever would want to play with, like give them a reason. I'm like, and I sat back and I'm like, yo, that's really awesome that I actually got to play with all these people already. That's really cool. And that just kind of like drove me even further to want to just do more in this community, because like, I just want to hang out with people and play games. Like, I don't care if like I make it big or what. I just want to hang out with people and play games. That's all I want to do. Really, at the end of the day, that's all I really do this for. I just want to hang out with people. Like, if there's a day where someone goes like, hey, Wall, you want to play a game with B Dave? I'm like, yeah, sure, that'll be awesome. I won't be like, I'm like, oh my God, B Dave. Well, I'm like, nah, that would be really cool. I want to play with you. In my mind, I'm like, oh my God, B Dave. But I'm like, yeah, that's cool. That's what's up.
My dream is like the fucking Black Kings episode of any show where it's just like some of the dopest black dudes.
That would be just...
Or just black folks just in general. I would love it. Fucking
I would love that so much. I would love that.
Oh my God.
So like someone brought me like, yo, that's what's up. Let's do it.
Funny. Me, you, Gabe, B Dave, CB. Let's get us all together. Let's get D and like let's just fucking everybody.
Rich and melanin and cocoa butter.
The Cocoa Butter Chronicles. Let's make it happen. Yo, let's go.
I want to
play in there. Oh,
I want to play a cleric that is like a 70-year-old man and always has a menthol hanging from his lip.
Soul Food, the TTRPG. Let's go.
Oh my gosh.
Fund
this.
Fund it.
You
Fund it.
cowards.
Let's go.
The uncle
wanna play?
Sphinx.
Yo,
Yo, I play the heck out of a Black John Constantine. Let me play a Black John Constantine. I would play the fuck out of Black John Constantine.
Constantine, like there are some characters that I feel like
I quoted black no matter what you say.
Well, not just that. I feel like there are some characters that make more sense if they're black. Like Batman as a white guy doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
But wait, are we specifically saying Scott Lang Ant-Man, or are we saying Hank?
No, I said Batman.
Oh no, Batman should be black. I don't care. Batman should be black. Yeah.
And I've got a few reasons. One, let's be honest. If Thomas and Martha Kent were black, it would make a
Sensei Suplex is here.
So we were just talking about you earlier today. But if Thomas and Martha Kent were black, it would make a lot more sense that they didn't find the killer, or that the killer got off.
Yeah,
the justice system not working for Bruce would be much more. Would be a much better motivator for Batman existing. Him going off and just disappearing, and nobody like really. I want you to think about this. Bruce Wayne, the inheritor of Wayne Enterprises, a white guy, just disappears and nobody's looking for him. Now, Bruce Wayne, the inheritor of Wayne Enterprises, goes missing and he's a black guy.
Oh, yes.
And nobody's looking for him. That makes a lot more sense. That makes a lot more sense. That makes a lot more sense.
No one will notice.
I'm just saying, Batman makes more sense as a black guy. Honestly, if I'm keeping it a buck, Batman makes much more sense as a black woman. If you think about it.
Ooh.
Nobody goes looking for her. The justice system doesn't work for her.
Oh no, you're right. You're 100% right there. You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong there. No. You ain't wrong there. Like, but you're absolutely right. Like, Constantine is definitely up there with a character that's just like, as a black person, Constantine would be a lot cooler.
Absolutely. Like, just the utter disregard and disrespect for the rules and just like having to look out for himself because nobody else is going to. Come on, man.
Oh man, I just want to play a Constantine character now. I think that's what I need to do. I think that's just it. I just need to do that.
All I'm gonna say is magician or wizards in Urban Shadows, kind of perfect for it.
All right, well that's it. I'm done. That's it. That's it. I'm doing it then. I'm doing it.
Bring them on Weekly Shadows.
Weekly Shadows might be a thing. So speaking of a thing, we do have a thing in this show that we have to touch on. It's required. If you've been in the TTRPG community for any amount of time, chances are you've had the experience of sitting at a table with a bad guy. And if you're unfamiliar with a bad guy, which it seems that you very much are, that guy is someone who is at your table and is a black hole of fun. Someone that if they were yeeted into the sun would improve your experience at the table tenfold. So I have to ask you, WallE, have you experienced that guy? Can you tell us about it?
I have experienced that guy. And the worst part about it is it's that guy with innocent intentions. They really just wanted to have fun. So I was playing in one game where someone really wanted to play an evil character. That's what they wanted to do. They really just wanted to play this evil character no matter what. But the DM wouldn't let them. DM totally wouldn't let them. So instead of what they did, they played a character that was associated with this very evil character. and that basically this character was this one's kind of rough, y'all. It's kind of rough.
Okay.
This character was.
Do we have content warnings?
Yes, kind of content warning for just utter shitty thing to do to people, but
okay.
They basically did like a bunch of like torture to this person, and the reason why they're like this now is because of this character.
Right.
This character then died in the campaign, and the person said, "Hey, can I play the evil character now, since this person died?" And the DM was like, "Fine, whatever. You can play this evil character. You play this character that associates to the character that died." So they played this evil character at the table, and it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible because this person went out of their way to do the most horrible things to NPCs, and they would say, "Well, my character's evil. This is what they would do," and they would ride that excuse for the longest, and it was just getting really rough to play at the table. So my character was a paladin. My character was a hardcore, chaotic, good paladin. The way I played this paladin is they were a Triton paladin. They were a Triton paladin from deep beneath the sea who came to the surface world because they wanted to see what it's like on the surface world. I played them hardcore, like basically like Starfire. Super sweet, bubbly in everything they do. But the thing is, their culture down beneath the waves is super harsh and warlike. But they have a very strict code of rules. That's why he's hardcore, lawful, good. Strict code of rules we do. Evil gets punished, good triumphs. My character bonded with the previous character. And this character was telling my character of all the bad things this person's went through. And he's like, "But then who did this to you?" The character told me, "This person did this to me." So my character's like, if I ever see this person, I'm going to end their lives. If I don't end their lives, they will be punished. So this character died, and the character that my character swore said, "I will go after them," joins the party. My character is an Oath of Vengeance paladin. Yes. So basically what I said there, I turned to the DM, I said, "I'm going to honor my oath right now." And the DM is like, looks at me and looks at the players, says, "Are you fine with this? That they're going to honor their oath right now?" And that is when you saw the look on the player's face where they thought they were doing something. They had this moment of realization of like, "Oh, I have been a horrible player at this table. I have done some pretty bad stuff. And now in character, this character is going to do what everyone at this table wanted me to do." And you can see him look in his face. He's like, "Oh," he's like, "Yeah, I accept it." So basically what I did was I had my character who was a paladin just beat the crap out of him and then heal him back up using lay on hands. And I said, and that was the justice I delivered to this character. But yeah, it's just a character who went out of their way to play an evil character. And when they finally got to play the evil character, they just brought down the mood all together, all around it, because we knew how bad that evil character was. And they brought it anyway. And it just, vacuum of fun got sucked out.
Vengeance is the oath of fuck around and find out.
Yeah, pretty much. I have a question. Did anybody tell that player beforehand, like, "Yo, you're kind of killing the mood"?
Yes, that's the thing. Like people were telling that they weren't saying it like that though. They were trying to be real polite about it because this person, when they were doing it, they honestly, genuinely were trying to have fun because it was coming from a person of a place who really wanted to have fun. Like this is a character they created like this really intricate backstory for and everything, and they're finally getting to play it. So it's like, you don't want to dunk on it, but at the same time, you gotta let them know like, hey, you're being real shitty about this, but at the same time, you see the joy in their face.
Yeah.
So you're like, that was a very rough one. It was a very rough one that guy was the sweetest guy ever, but it was also being that guy.
No, I absolutely get that. And respect to your gaming table for talking to them about it, and respect for how that was handled just in general. I recently personally got out of a situation like that. It was handled a little differently in the sense that nobody at the table said anything. And I was playing a character who was very combat oriented. So it was just like most situations could probably be solved with a blade. And I think one of the greatest sins that we can experience at a table is a lack of communication. Personally, I try to make sure that safety tools are used so that that's avoided. So like if my character would do something, generally an O check would be followed in the background. So it's just like if there's nobody that's okay with, if there's anybody that's not okay with this, like this is your time to say, like, pull the reins. And I think where tables get a little murky is when that's not respected, where an O is dropped when it's not meant, you know, where people say that they're okay with things that they're actually not okay with, because that's when resentment can build up, and resentment built up over time can make people unreasonable, and it can create hostility where there shouldn't be one. So hearing a situation where there was open communication between that guy and the table and seeing how it was resolved in a way that was respectful to all parties involved is really inspiring.
I mean, after that moment, I've learned very much that, like you said, communication is very important. And I try my best to make sure that if it's never mentioned beforehand, I always say, hey, is it cool if we have a session 0, even if it's not like a one session dedicated to a session 0? Could we at least have like 30 minutes or 45 minutes before we do this to a session 0 kind of thing? It's now like my own safety tool now, that I need something. Even if it's not a session 0, I just need something that I can discuss with players of what vibes we're going in with this kind of thing. Yeah. Even if it's in the group chat or something, I just need something, you know. I just need something like that.
Now here's my question. Have you ever had a good experience with somebody playing an evil character at your table?
No, I have not, because every single time someone played an evil character at the table, there wasn't enough of a vibe and trust at the table.
I've had one good experience.
Ooh, what was that like?
The character was playing an evil character, but for the right reasons. And they're actually on the screen below me.
See, there it is right there. Like, if I know the
and person, had the chance for redemption. I think that's the key to it.
Yeah. Yes. Like, if I'm gonna have an evil character, if I have an evil player at my table, it's like, I gotta know you. I gotta vibe with you. I can't just like, if someone just shows up at my at a table that I don't know them very well, if they say I'm gonna play an evil character, I'm gonna feel very iffy. But I gotta know you and vibe with you if I'm gonna be playing an evil character with you.
Actually had a very amazing experience playing with somebody that was playing an evil character, and I was playing an Oath of Devotion paladin. And here's how that worked out. They were playing a shadow sorcerer who had you can describe their backstory as they went through it. And I was playing like your quintessential good guy. And in our first encounter, the shadow sorcerer, went hard, like ham. And my paladin pulled them aside and they were like, you can never do that again. You can never do that again, because if you do something like that again, I have no choice but to stop you. I was able to mitigate the damage that you did, but if you ever go that far again, then we have to be enemies. And the Shadow Sorcerer had a very interesting reply, which is, what are your rules? And we had this really interesting conversations of, here are the lines we can't cross. And the Shadow Sorcerer went, understood. And there was this relationship where they would just go right to the line and stop. And it built trust between this paladin and this evil character, where we got into a point where we met a bad guy that could not be reasoned with and had to be stopped. And I got to deliver one of my favorite intimidation roles of all time, where the paladin goes, you don't understand. If I am not your solution, if I am not the way that this stops, then I have to leave the room. And the bad guy's like, well, what does that mean? And I'm like, you have to listen to me. If I am not the solution to our impasse here, I have to leave the room. And the bad guy's like, well, fuck you. And then my character walks out and the Shadow Sorcerer walks in. And before the Shadow Sorcerer closes the door, my paladin goes, how long of a walk do I need to take? And the Shadow Sorcerer goes, a very long one.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I'm like, that's how awesome. You do it.
See, that right there, like that's the thing is, like, the times that I've played with people who were playing evil characters, they were playing evil characters for the sake of just wanting to play an evil character. They were letting their character be defined by the fact, like, I'm an evil character, I am doing all this. What you just described there, that person was playing an evil character, but they were playing a Shadow Sorcerer who just happened to have an evil set of morals, who's not willing to change those, who's willing to listen to other morals. They're not just being evil just for the sake of that I get to do evil stuff. No. That's so good. That's the only time I would play with a new character.
And the thing
that's good.
And the thing was, we got to have really amazing talks about what, like, my paladin would try and go, your ways don't work. And the Shadow Sorcerer would go, no, your ways don't work. We respected each other, and we respected that we were on the same page, we had the same mission, and that we would do what it took to exist in the same space. And there would be times where, by not killing the person the Shadow Sorcerer wanted to kill, we got information, and it was a very, see, my way works. And then there are times where trying to reason shit out didn't work. And so the Shadow Sorcerer would go, see, my way works. And I think that's a masterful job by the GM of kind of painting a picture where neither side is right. And I think that if you're going to play an evil character, there has to be an open and honest discussion between players where you can step outside yourself and go, this makes me feel this way. And somebody else goes, well, this makes me feel that way. And if nobody's talking, or people are talking amongst themselves but not to each other, then there's nothing that can be created from that.
Mm-hmm.
You have to maintain that open dialogue. And I think also that's probably the reason why I had bad experience, because there was never an open dialogue with the players and the GMs and the rest of the players at the table with this one person saying, yeah, I want to play an evil character. And the group at the table just didn't go like, okay, if you do this, we don't feel comfortable with XYZ and stuff like that. Like, it is, the way you're talking, I wouldn't mind being in an evil campaign with someone. I wouldn't mind. It's just that I have to have a good DM to really rein everything in. I got to have players who I've worked with, and I've done this before, and I trust that I can know that they are going to handle certain things maturely and everything. I definitely need a very controlled environment of the players and the GMs if I ever were going to be in an evil party, and a lot of open communication at the start of it.
Oh
yeah.
Sorry, I just took a deep ass breath. Well, when it was my turn to hit the ball back, but And the other thing is like, you can't, you have to, you have to make these conversations very clear, very obvious. Like you can't subtle your way into an understanding. You have to be like, this is the conversation we're having and it's about this. Mm-hmm. And sometimes the solutions that are presented may not be the ones that you want. Sometimes if you do come to somebody and go, the character that you want to play makes me feel uncomfortable, sometimes that person's going to walk away. That's just part of the game, baby. You can't feel a type of way about that. You just have to accept it. It's just like sometimes people are like, well, this is who I wanted to bring into the table. I'm seeing that it's not a good fit. So respectfully, I'm just going to, take a step back. Like that's not an insult. That is just someone choosing what they want to do.
And setting a boundary.
Yes. Yeah. Like no one is dunking on you. It's just the person, I'm not dunking on you. I'm not dunking on your character. It's just that I am just saying, hey, my boundaries, you overstepped them, and I'm letting you know about them. Your character is fantastic character. It's just what you're doing has overstepped the boundaries, and it's made me feel uncomfortable.
So here's a fun question. What do you define as a murder hobo?
What I define as a murder hobo is, because the easy answer is to say someone who relies on violence as the first answer, which I disagree with that. It's not is that someone would rely on violence as the first answer. It's that someone would rely on aggressive, chaotically aggressive things as the first answer. Because yes, it's easy. It's I've done it before too, where is that instead of like talking to someone to get questions out of them, I just had a character straight up deck them and say, tell me what you need to know, because that's just a form of intimidation. However, wanton, mindless, chaotic violence, that's murder hobo. To just walk up into a place and say, I throw a fireball. Why? Because waka waka. That's murder hobo. Just to be doing things for the sake of just because you can do them and not caring why you did it, that's murder hobo.
Doing it without care for the consequences or how it makes the other people at the table feel.
Exactly.
Or if you have an entire table of people like that.
That's when it gets really bad. Because if you have an entire table of it, because one person starts it, the other person feeds off it and feeds off it and feeds on it, then everyone starts doing it at the table. It's, like I said, it's, to me, murder hobo-y is just when
Waka waka fireball.
Well, that's a shirt.
That's a shirt right there, yeah. It's just when people are relying on chaotic actions as a solution to everything without caring what the solution is. Because it's more like, it's like if you have the party is faced with a door situation. How does the player solve the problem? How does the character solve the problem? Or how is the solution created? Like a player solving the problem would sit around and discuss with the table, hey, this is a puzzle, let's discuss it. How the player would solve how the character would solve the problem is, oh, my character has the knock spell. Let me open up the door with the knock spell. But then you just have the solution just to be solution to the character. It's like, I'm gonna blow up the door with a fireball. I don't care. Waka waka fireball. Because that is a solution. Yes,
are you sure this is a 30-foot room and all your party members are close to you?
Nope, I'm gonna do it anyway. Waka waka fireball. And that's
this room is full of alcohol.
I'm sorry, I am wearing a Waka Waka Fireball shirt at some point like this.
I'll open up
because
Illustrator.
It's the thing is I feel like a murder hobo is someone who feels like they can solve the problem through the most logical means, but sometimes the logical means isn't the best one, but they double down on it and they just lean hard into it.
So you said something that I can't tell you how much I appreciate, which is like somebody whose first solution is violence I think that could be an interesting character. I think that is.
Oh, totally.
I think that is a very interesting character in the sense that, you know what they're going to do. You know, like what they want to do, and I think part of what makes that character interesting is how the party utilizes that. It's just like you know what this character's immediate response to shit is going to be, and like how do you as a party, like work with them and like, okay, all right, so we know that this guy is talking wild brazy to the party. Hey, just be chill for a second and we're gonna handle this. And when that doesn't work, it's like the Hulk, essentially. I've always loved the Hulk because everybody knows what the Hulk solution is. Smash. Mm-hmm. And one of my favorite things in the Avengers is when Cap's breaking down the plan. Like, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're going to do this, and Hulk, let it out. Like, I love that. And I find that doesn't make the Hulk a murder hobo. It makes the Hulk a hammer.
Yeah, and exactly.
Finding a way to work with the hammer is part of what makes his party interactions useful. And like, the solution isn't to berate the Hulk. The solution isn't to like attack the Hulk. The solution is to like reason and humanize with the Hulk. And I think that is fundamentally far more interesting than anything else. But I find that a murder hobo is somebody that has a body count that has added nothing to the narrative, mm-hmm. or to the game or to the strategy. And so, yeah.
I feel a good example of the character you described for me is like Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. Because you know what Vegeta will do. Vegeta will fight. Vegeta will not question. Vegeta will not talk it out. Vegeta will fight. That's what Vegeta does. Vegeta fights. Vegeta does not waste energy. He will blow you up right off the bat. The fact that when a character like that has moments of when they're not doing it, those are the moments that stand out. And that's the difference between that and a murder hobo. Because you can have a character who is violent and abrasive, but if they have those moments where they're like, I'm not going to do it, those are the moments that separate those characters from murder hobos.
And I think part of what makes Vegeta a perfect example of this, in a perfect example actually, is just like you have to watch how you talk to Vegeta. Mm-hmm. He is a prideful dude, and so part of the things that are interesting about Vegeta are his interactions with other people. Because if you have somebody walk into Vegeta's face and go, hey, don't do that, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know what Vegeta's response is going to be. Who the fuck are you talking to?
Yeah, waka fireball.
Waka final flash. Waka big bang attack. Like, so it's just and Vegeta will even tell you how you talk to him. And I love that. I want to play Animal the Barbarian. The Barbarian Wizard. Let's make it happen. Waka
Galagun. I remember that, yes.
Yes.
But now I'm thinking about it, I just love characters like that in general. Those are some of my favorite characters in media, are the ones where, look, just be careful what you say to them. They will, if you say the wrong thing to them, it's gonna be a problem, and it's gonna be your fault. Even if it's not your fault, they're gonna make it your fault. So just be careful what you say around them. And it doesn't even have to be like the character who's like, oh, I can just blow you up. It's more of like a character who will just turn around and read you to rights. I love characters like that.
Like, that's one of my favorite things. Like, I have played a number of characters that are hard people to love. And I think that's because I put a lot of myself in the characters, and I feel like someone that is hard to love. And when the party does find a way to work, it's fantastic. Like I'll never play somebody that's like, why am I here? I shouldn't be part of this group. Oh, I'll play somebody that's just like, I'm willing to walk away from the group if I have to. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm here, I'm vulnerable, I'm we can have the conversation, but like, if I have to leave, I'm willing to leave. And that's because a lot of these characters are capable people. Nobody's out here playing a mediocre individual that can't survive on their own. There has to be a reason that they're a group. There has to be conversations. There has to be that moment of genuine bonding. And when those moments pass, or when they're ignored, or when they're belittled, what do you expect some of these folks to do, So it's just, I don't know. I just think it's far more interesting to have fully fleshed out, vulnerable, and emotionally compromised individuals that genuinely grow over time as a unit together. And that's not, and again, that's not something that every table wants. And so, you got to find the right table for you.
Mm-hmm. Noir, if you want to look in the Zoom chat real quick.
Mm-hmm. What am I looking at here? Click to open. I want that Waka Waka Fireball shirt so bad.
Yes, this has to be a shirt or a mug. I would have this as a mug.
Chat, would you like a Waka Waka Fireball shirt? Let us know.
I just posted it to the Discord of the art channel.
Yes, please. Okay, we can make that happen. Waka Waka shirts will be available after this episode. I'm so serious.
The art channel on the Discord, I just posted it.
I was able to contribute to the morning ritual zeitgeist.
And a kick the day in the cock shirt.
Let's see what I can do.
You gotta kick the day right in the. We out here selling all the merch.
Oh gosh.
Oh, so I have another question. Have you been able to sunset a character, or have you had a character death?
Yes, I have had a character. I've had sunsetted a character. I had a character who straight up joined the party JRPG style in the middle of the campaign. And they waited to the end of the campaign, and my character ended up adopting a pair of goblin children that they found in a city. They also got married to a dock worker they met, and they created a what was it again? They converted a boat into a floating restaurant / murder mystery theater.
WallE, what the fuck?
I'm here for all of it.
I got to end that campaign with my character getting married. I got to have the end of the campaign with a wedding. I got to live that life. That was something I always wanted to do. But man, did I get to sunset a character in the most bonkers way ever.
A murder mystery theater ship?
Yeah, a murder mystery theater ship.
Was your character a bard by chance?
They weren't. They were actually a phantom rogue.
So when they played dead, it was really convincing.
Yes.
Oh my god, I can't.
Fucking can't. It was so bizarre because, like, the way my character adopted these two kids, it was because first
Goblin kids,
yes. I adopted a bunch of goblin kids, which started as one goblin kid, which then turned into the goblin kid and their little brother. But by the end of the campaign, I adopted the Goblin Kid, their brother, and the troop of kids who were displaced due to the war. So I adopted a bunch of refugee children, and we all lived on our houseboat / murder mystery theater.
You put them to work.
Yeah, put them to work, yeah.
Gave them purpose.
Yeah.
Just like a family restaurant.
Yeah, totally. That's what it was. It was a family restaurant. Yeah.
You know what? I've recently had the opportunity to sunset a character, and I think after you sunset a character as a GM, it kind of opens your mind to like when you're creating an NPC. Like, what was this NPC's life before they were like just a bartender?
Oh,
like,
totally.
like, can you imagine somebody going on that murder mystery boat to start some shit?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
do you know how funny that would be?
A bunch
Like,
of feral
why are you
goblin
starting
children
shit on
just
this boat.
Like, we're gonna rob this boat. Like, you sure, fam?
Like, you good? You really want to do this? It's like a level 10 like rogue on this boat, bro. You really want to do this?
Oh, so I mean, like,
I had a
Go
halfling
ahead.
barkeep that had like at least 5 levels in barbarian.
I ended up having a level 16 wizard rogue who started a private investigative firm.
Yeah.
And it's just like, bro, you are not gonna have a great time if you're trying to escape this fucking investigator.
Was that
And if they're changeling.
yeah, was that Ryle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you brought that on yourself, bro.
Just like if you're cheating, he's gonna find out.
Yeah.
That's 2 spells right there to find out if you're cheating. Zone of Truth and a scry. Oh my god, can you imagine a Dungeons and Dragons version of cheaters?
I'd watch the shit out of that.
I would
I'd
watch
the
that
shit out of that.
so fucking hard.
I'd watch the shit out of a D&D equivalent of Cheaters. I'd watch the shit out of a D&D equivalent of Maury Povich. Oh my gosh. Would I watch the shit out of a D&D Maury Povich? That's basically all it is just one dragon showing up every single fucking week. That's
Or
all
a-
it is. Just
or
one
a bard.
dragon showing up. Or a bard, yeah. It's like this bard just shows up every week. Like, it's like every other week this bard shows up. Like, well, Lamont, you're here again. This dragon says you are not the father of this dragon, this dragonborn. It's like, you know, like Lamont does like a full-out dance, runs backstage. No, we don't see the dragon. We don't see Lamont run backstage. We see the dragon like just crash through the walls backstage. Just crashes through the wall.
Could you imagine like the
Camera's
freak
following
out
them.
from a dragon when they realize that the person they're trying to hit up for child support is not the father?
Just fucking fire shit. Or the dancing dragon would do if they found out they weren't the father.
Oh my gosh.
Just
I'd watch
dabbing
the
with their
crap out of
wings.
that. I'd watch the crap out of that. Like, it wouldn't even be like a debate. Like, Maury Povich D&D is on. Oh fuck, turn it on. Let's go.
Why not? See, and this is what I love when people like think of silly shit to put in a game, because like, look, they're still humans in D&D.
Yeah.
So a lot of the dumb shit that we have in our world, why is it not represented?
Exactly. Like, it always, whenever it's like, it's always so weird. It's like, oh my gosh, why you put a tavern? Why are you focusing so hard on this tavern? It's like, because I want to imagine a perfect place I could drink at. Thank you very much.
Gotta sign a waiver to be in the audience.
Like, they give every audience member an immunity to fire when the dragon comes.
Okay, everybody, here's a tray full of potions of fire resistance. I'm just gonna need you to drink these and also sign these waivers just in case.
Oh my god, I just want nothing more than a Maury episode with the dragon on it now.
Gorthalax, you are not the father.
I told that bitch! I told that bitch!
Oh, wait, what if it's like one of those episodes of Maury, but it's like the Troubled Youths one?
Oh my God.
It's the Trouble Youths, but it's like D&D.
Quit sucking dicks. Don't you love your mama? Do some push. Do some push-ups. It's just this big ass barbarian making kids do push-ups.
No more something.
Like the Scared Straight episodes, but like,
Oh my God.
it's just a really angry barbarian.
Could you imagine Scared Straight at a fucking Dungeons and Dragons prison with
Oh my
like
gosh. Like the toughest one is a gnome.
my name is Walford Knox. I'm a lich, and this is what your life is gonna look like if you don't respect your mama.
I just want a behind the bars documentary, but it takes place in D&D world. It's like that's what I think that's what I just really need. I just need a behind the bars documentary, but it takes place in D&D world.
I want a fucking Where Are They Now episode in fucking Dungeons and Dragons. How Saeed was once one of the most renowned monks for the Raven Queen. But years have passed since their adventuring heyday. So where are you now? Stop asking me questions. Why are you following me with that? Why are you following me with that crystal? Leave me alone.
That is a very Hal answer.
It was a horrible lich. One that turned the entire jungles of Chult into his own phylactery, absorbing souls. Now, he does bonsai. And you see the Sarah just like sitting, it's like, I like to take the little branches and trim them off just right. So it adds the perfect amount of balance across the tree as I reflect back on the fragility of life and death itself. Snip. I've watched that.
I just picture like our Sararak with like also like these little glasses, like the goggles, so that they can zoom in perfectly. I also do cross stitch in my part time. I made this.
I made this cross stitch right here. And he points to a sign that says "Lich happens."
Gift happens.
One of my phylacteries is now this cute little cactus. You would think that a cactus does not need much maintenance, but all plants need love. I've been taking up Druidic magic in my spare time.
Now I just want like a reality show, but it's a gated community, but with a bunch of like D&D big bad evil guys.
The Real Housewives of Faerun.
I was just thinking that.
The Real Housewives of the Sword Coast.
Instead of fucking pouring drinks on people, they're just doing cantrips at each other.
It's just a prestidigitate cantrip to make your clothes dirty.
Doing the intros, it's like I'm a paladin of Loth, and I'm not here to make friends. I'm gonna turn around.
Faerun's next top wizard. Bitch, your spellbook is dirty.
I didn't come here to make friends. I came here to win and cast the best spells. I didn't come here to cast friends. I came here to win.
You know, like that one gif of the I can't get enough sleep because of y'all, so y'all only gonna rest your spell slots because of me.
It's just cast and knock over
I can't get no rest because of you. You ain't gonna get no spell slots because of me.
Oh god. My ribs hurt.
The real villains of Faerun.
Oh my god.
God damn it. Oh. bad. I
Weird
don't.
or
That's
not.
the fucking shirt I want real bad, real fucking bad. I'm not getting no sleep because y'all not getting spell sleep.
Just like a beleaguered
But the thing
dungeon
is,
master.
you just see the wizard in her gown and in full bonnet. Like full bonneted up and everything, just casting knock over
just
and
like
over again.
like a more casual version of their robe,
I can see an elf
like
in a
pajamas
confession.
underneath it.
I can see an elf in one of the confessionals like, I don't need to sleep, but this bitch is really fucking up my meditation. Can we have a okay?
The confessional is saying, I'm really tired of this bougie bitch. Just call it mage hand. It's not telekinesis.
You're not special, bitch.
You're not special.
It's a
just mage
cantrip.
hand.
It can only lift 5 pounds. Why do you keep trying to use it the way that it's not supposed to be used? If you want telekinesis, just learn telekinesis. It's like it's hard.
Oh god, I need this.
You got the sorcerer just in the background, like these bitches need to talk to say they spells. Couldn't be.
Material components, I don't know her.
Can we just get different casters being shady as shit?
Oh, it is. And then you have the cleric, who's like the super innocent one.
Oh, that's like the
Just
mom
wasn't
friend of the group.
Yeah, the mom friend. The cleric is the mom friend. It's totally the mom friend.
Just see them in the confessional going, I feel like today is going to be a day I need to prepare some healing because these bitches is going crazy.
She's like, I may be a child of God, but these bitches are trying my last nerve.
Have a blessed day.
The cleric is super passive aggressive. The cleric would be super passive.
Super passive aggressive. You know what? I'll pray for you.
This bitch countered my prestidigitation, you hoe! Just counter spells would be like the most disrespectful shit in that house.
And the confessional is them crying while they say it. This bitch counterspelled my spell. I was just trying to make a point here, but then they counterspelled me in the middle of the point I was trying to make. I don't even know why I stay here. I don't know why I stay here in this house.
The other caster is like, if she didn't want her spell countered, she should have used a higher spell slot. Oh my god, I've never wanted anything more in my fucking life.
So coming this spring to Critical Bits.
Oh damn!
Sophina refuses to clean our clothes. She only uses. She's the only one that knows prestidigitation.
I need this show to be a thing. I just need. Oh my god, the warlock would be the most entitled one too.
Listen. If I ever just need some more spell slots, I just need to take a short rest and I can get them back. And I mean, if I want new spells, I can just call up Daddy and ask for some new spells.
I mean, between you and me, I think that relationship that she in is pretty toxic.
Hi, Daddy. Can I have like a new Eldritch invocation?
You never even see him around. He always making her go out and do things.
But Daddy,
Oh
I want
my
a familiar.
gosh.
I want to change up the Pact of the Chain. I want a
Oh
little
gosh.
chihuahua.
6 casters, 1 house. We'll find out when casters stop being nice and start getting real.
the real world.
Oh my gosh, I need this show so bad.
And then there's like this artificer that's just like trying to like mend relationships. Like the artificer's like the peacekeeper. Listen, I fix things around the house, but sometimes there's some relationships that I just can't fix. They don't pay me to be a therapist.
There's a ranger in there, and all the other casters are like, "You shouldn't even be here."
Yeah.
She doesn't even go here.
The druid's like, "This poser."
It's like, and Cousin the Druid is like, it's like, you don't even use real magic. What are you here? Like, Cousin the Druid. I know, yeah, right. I don't use real magic. It's just another version of the cleric. I'm not going to open my mouth. I want people to get
The paladin's like, say something. Say something.
I fucking dare you.
It's like, it's not like, look, you're going to we're going to get mad at each other because they can't even use real spells. The paladin doesn't even cast spells. The paladin's like, try something. Try something.
I will use every inch of this spell slot to slap the shit.
The backhand is just smite.
Oh my god! This makes me wish I could animate because this would be such a great fucking cartoon.
I like the sorcerer would be the most influencer kind of person. Like they have like 10,000 TikTok followers, 50,000 Instagram followers.
They over there using still spell and silent spell to cast suggestion and just start shit around the house.
That'd be your power player right there.
Yeah.
Smite tattooed on the knuckles. SMIT,
Yeah,
and then you have to use the thumb as well.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, I would watch the shit out of
Oh my god, that G4 hire us. Like,
what are you doing?
Look at these show ideas that we got.
Or on one knuck would be like gods, and then the other one would be plan.
I immediately now imagine the sorcerer as Drake. Like every time they come on, a Drake song plays, no new friends, no new friends. Oh god.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I'd watch the shit out of that show.
Oh my god, yeah, it would be the I don't think we topping this.
No, I think this is the note that we go off on. We started with chaos, we end with chaos. We come full circle.
It's just this full circle right there.
Oh god damn it.
Imagine the use polymorph would get.
Oh,
This bitch turned me to a frog.
This bitch turned me to a frog. Cuts back to the other person like, called me say I turned into a frog. That's just rude. Like I use my magic to turn into a frog. Yeah, I turned into a frog.
What the fuck?
Meanwhile, the sorcerer's like, I turned them into a frog.
I didn't do it, but I might have suggested it. Yo, can you use suggestion with silent spell?
Any spell that has a verbal component.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's broken.
Imagine if someone just dropped a silent spell and walked out the room.
Subtle spell removes either the verbal or the material component, not both. With sorcery.
But like, what if, like, as an argument ender, they just drop the silent spell in the room and just walk out?
Could you imagine the Zone of Truth spell in that house?
That's the confessional. It's under a permanent Zone of Truth spell.
Yeah.
Why am I actually thinking of the mechanics of how this house would work?
Cut to the druid just chilling in the room, totally baked.
Oh, I need the internally baked druid. I need that. I need the internally baked druid.
The druid's just not here for the drama.
Oh my god, you can use Druidcraft to just make free weed forever.
I kind of just want to do an all spellcasters one shot that's very that's pretty much just this.
Me too.
It's just an all spellcasters one shot that's just this. Like there's like a mission, but it's basically this.
You need to have a good group for it. Like
Yeah.
that like know each other, trust each other, and you need to have like a good intensive session 0.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Like you would just give them challenges. Like we brought in some villagers from around the city, and the challenge for you today is to get them to bring you a cup of tea using only non-lethal magic. What do you do?
Oh wow. And that's the thing is, everyone has like a unique spell book, so it's not like everyone has suggestion. Everyone has that, so
so you have to get creative to do shit like that. Like,
yeah, oh, that would be so good.
I mean, the bard would just be out here like, "Hey, how you doing?"
You have to use magic. Like,
the bard's like, oh, it's just up in the air.
What's going on? You know, you want to go get
like
a cup of tea.
the divination wizard is just like, if you bring me that cup of tea, I'll read your future.
Oh wait, isn't the future only read like 5 minutes from now? It says that you're gonna bring me a cup of tea. Boom, divination.
I am the magic.
I am the magic baby.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
The bard's just sleeping with all of the fucking challenge. Bring me the cup of tea and I'll make you a shit ton of weed.
The druid's just like, can you just bring me some hot water? I can make my own tea.
Oh, that would be the challenge. There's no water, there's no cup. You have to convince them to do it and make it so they can do it. So it's just like, oh my god.
Wow, I love the chaos that was brought into the studio today.
Oh, this is the good instilled chaos that I try my best. This is why y'all should put me on your shows, by the way.
Exactly. No, got you first, but we might get you last. Oh,
Ron's face of pulling a freaking. You
We
want these
poach you,
shows?
motherfucker.
You can't work. You want more your workday meet your weekday mornings. Come over to Critical Misses if you want to talk. Get a freaking bad boy drama up in here.
I do have one other topic I would love to talk about really quickly
give it to
here.
me.
Okay, so there was recently a TikTok about how spell slots inherently don't make sense because a lot of the fiction of D&D, there really isn't spell slots referred to in like the novels and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And like how spell slots exist mainly to balance the game. And it's kind of unfortunate, but that's the way it is.
Yes.
So I am drawing up a feature that I'm going to test out in Kingsguard at some point, which is the push it mechanic. And the push it mechanic basically symbolizes that everything that's on your character sheet is things that your character can do safely. But they can do more, but this is just what they can do reliably and safely. So, for example, the character sheet says you can attack like once or twice a turn, right?
Right.
Safely and reliably. So you can choose to try and attack more, but it comes at a cost. The way that I'm literally in very early rough drafts, but you would essentially need to make a naked roll. You just roll a d20, and the first time you push it, it's low roll like a DC 5, DC 10, DC 15, DC 20, right? And every time you fail the roll, you take a point of exhaustion because you're pushing yourself harder and faster. Same thing for spell slots. If you're casting a spell slot that you're out of, you're essentially pushing it, and you can suffer points of exhaustion.
Right.
Just
What do you
digging
think
deep.
about something like that? Yeah.
I like that. I've always like the idea of spell slots have always kind of did, bug me because it's like it's not something you really can describe in the terms of a non-mechanic way. You can't you physically cannot do that outside of saying that I've done spells this a many amount of times a day and now I'm really tired. Like the only real character class that really can like link that up to is like the warlock, because they have so limited amount of spell slots per day. That's the only real cast you can really say that for. Can't say that for a wizard because they have phenomenal amount of spell slots. Can't really say that for a sorcerer because they have a feature that allows them to regain spell slots. So it's very hard. So I like that because it's saying like, yes, I can do this. I can do it right here. It says I can do it. But if I want to go beyond what is said here, I have to take a risk for it. And I like that because it really shows character growth in what they can do. Because you are able to do this at this amount of level, but if there was no like benchmark of what you can't do, really did you really truly level up? Did you really was there something that you did in game that really shows a difference of what you could do at level 3 in comparison to what you did level 4, outside of you get a new mechanic? Okay, yeah, I get a new mechanic. Yeah, I get a new kind of spell that I can cast, but I did nothing to really show there is a difference between me at level 3 and me at level 4, outside of the fact that I have a new feature. Yeah. There's nothing I did in game that really showed there is a very stark difference. And I mean, yes, you can totally show that in game for spellcasters by dropping spell scrolls that are outside of your spell level, and they got to make a save for it. But what about for fighters? You really can't show that for fighters or for rogues or everything. You really can't show that. This is like either you roll and you miss, okay, but how do I show the struggle? How do I show that they're pushing their limits beyond what they can do, to show that there was a very distinct difference in a level outside of like whatever extra numbers I'm adding to the roll? But yeah, like you saying that it shows that I'm trying to do something I can't do, but I'm making the effort for it.
It's like, I'm a fighter. I can only attack twice per turn, but I'd like to try for 3 without my action surge.
Exactly. Yes.
And so I was trying to start working on this feature with non-casters because it's much easier to kind of show that with casters than with non-casters. So like, what if you're a fighter that wants to try an action surge, but you've already used it? Like, it's that kind of thing where it's just like,
it's like, I know that this guy is on like their last legs. I know that a good hit is gonna knock them down, but everybody else is like not really in a position to make the kill shot. I'm right here. I'm engaged. I would like to try an action surge again. Or I'm a paladin. I would like to try to do the fighter's action surge.
Yeah.
See, now that it would be another feature. And I think that it would be an interesting feature of cross-class pushing it, which would be something else. I think you would have to have seen it, and there would be bonuses for having somebody in your party that has that feature.
Like, but for example, with Kingsguard, Yenna has seen a day do action surge as a fighter.
So you would have a bonus to it. However, it would still be incredibly difficult because this is something that you are not trained in. This is something that you have not done before. But I think that adds a little bit of a narrative kick in the pants that I think D&D could really use, where it's just like, one of the things that I love in stories is when a character is so desperate that they pull the trigger on doing something that they're certain they can't do.
Yeah.
And it works.
He just gave me ideas for Monday.
So like, I was interested in this, in just kind of introducing that idea and to see if that's something that to players would appeal to y'all. To just be like, I understand that this is something that I'm only supposed to be able to do one time a day. But if I take the gamble and knowingly put myself in a position where I could be thoroughly fucked, can I try? Because, yeah, go ahead.
Just for good storytelling purposes, that is fantastic also. Like, you know, like the fact that you have that chance to risk it all, to end it all. And what if you don't, then that enemy gets another round to do something. But if you make it and you can end it, that's good, you know?
That's spicy. That's the seasoning.
Like, I do believe that there's going to be different ranks of difficulties for pushing it. And I think the ultimate, going beyond, going plus ultra, I think the risk for that is rolling 1d6 points of exhaustion.
With a 6 that kills a player. That kills a character.
Yeah.
And
Speaking from experience.
Hey, you know, sometimes it be like that.
Sometimes it does get like that sometimes.
But can you imagine fighting a BBEG and being all out of everything, the last player standing, and going, I am going to action surge. I'm all out of action surges, and I'm going to smite. That's roll 2d6 points of exhaustion and rolling 2 1s and pulling it off.
That would be awesome. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That is up there. Yeah.
Like, there's, to me, like, that is a magical moment. And if you roll two 6s with this feature, it would also make it so your character cannot be revived.
Like perma.
Ooh.
Like you burn the soul out of yourself trying this.
That's good. Yeah.
So it's just like, you wanna try?
Okay.
I like that.
It's like, I will go out swinging.
I like that, yeah.
I mean, they're like, for like impossible feats, like a level 1 wizard casting magic missile at level 9.
And I feel like that this, like, the things you can do is definitely just scale up to.
It's like the Tella moment from in Final Fantasy IV.
Yes.
Tella the wizard is like, the entire story of Tella is that throughout the entirety of Final Fantasy 4/2, if you're in North America, is that he's trying to remember this spell, but he can't quite get it until he faces down against the person that murdered his daughter.
Yeah.
And in that moment, it clicks, and he's able to cast Meteo. But the sheer raw power of being able to cast that spell kills Tella.
So, but he unlocked the part of his brain it was a mental block that was preventing him from casting the most powerful spell in all of Final Fantasy until that moment. And that moment happened, and he did it, but he fulfilled his wish, but he sacrificed himself in the process.
You should be able to
Was
go
Tella's
overdrive
sacrifice worth it in the end, though?
Fucking nerds.
We've been talking about Dungeons and Dragons, and I don't think any of us are cool here. Or we're the coolest.
I don't know about you, but all I know is that I'm kicking this day in the... Oh, I missed it.
You said you're kicking this day in the...
Thanks for the rebound.
You're welcome.
All right, so yeah, that's gonna be one of the things that I come out with, maybe in the next 2 weeks, because I've really hit a hyper focus on writing it out, because I don't like the ideas of limits. I think that we should we're playing extraordinary people in a magical world. Let's Let's fucking go there. Let's fucking do this shit. Like,
hell yeah.
Like you can break the game. And I hate when people say that. You break the game. Like,
why not?
Oh, he didn't break the game. It's just that we're just pushing the rules to its limits. There's no way to break D&D. It's really just the GM has to step their game up.
Pretty much. Like, if you're God, if you're GM, you can, even if a player has like a broken build, there's nothing stopping you from making the DC one more than they roll. Like,
no one's telling you. No one is telling you to show your players the DC check. Like, that's what gives me so much. It's like, oh yeah, I min-maxed this and that. I'm like, you do realize the DM can like legit change the rolls on a whim whenever they want to, and you cannot say a thing about it.
Fucking,
and you would never even know. You would never even know.
We're just gonna add a couple more HP because this fight's a little too easy.
Oh! I'm sorry. Does this monster now have a layer action that in the book it doesn't have one? Oh,
memorize the book and they can't do that.
Can't they?
I guess you can memorize these nuts is what you can memorize.
Just hit him with the Vader. I've altered the deal. Pray I do not alter it further. I hate motherfuckers that memorize books at you.
I hate that.
Like, that's not what Strahd's supposed to do. Well, guess what? I'm Strahd now.
I'm Strahd now, so.
All right, so we've been going on 4 hours, so I'll finally let y'all go. That's been this episode of Morning Ritual. Truly hope that y'all have enjoyed. I've been one of your hosts, Noir. You can find me all over the internet as TheNoirEnigma. That's Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. You can find me tomorrow, actually, over on TTRPG, where I will be the talking guest and musical guest, being interviewed by Nikki and Kelsey, Crochet Old Lady. I'm super duper excited about that. I don't know what songs I'm gonna sing yet, so there's that little bit of nervousness. I'm gonna try and desperately finish my songs about Bob, the gelatinous cube paladin. Also, I'll be joined by Mermaid Royal. So yeah, check that out. There's no episode of Rivals of Waterdeep tomorrow because Tanya is in San Diego for San Diego Comic-Con. They're doing their Motherlands live with B. Dave Walters as a player, and Gabe, you know Gabe. I don't need to remember his username. You know who the fuck I'm talking about. Yeah, Gabe James Games. There it is. On Mondays, you can join us right here for Kingsguard. We're in our second season. Shit's starting to get a little real.
I'm dead again.
I didn't do it.
I did it to myself. It's fair. I made a stupid choice. There was consequences.
You play stupid games, you won stupid prizes.
I fucked around. I found out.
On Wednesday, there's a potential chance that we will be premiering Dungeons and Deep Dish. And the Wednesday after that, I'm going to try and premiere Wednesday Shadows. Let's see, what else do I have going on? Also Wednesday mornings or afternoons, you can find me on Follow Black Cats Gaming for spy games. That's a good time. On Thursdays, I'm not doing a goddamn thing. On Friday, I'll be here watching Last Frontier, the Star Trek show here, so check that out. And then on Saturday, we have our next guest for Morning Ritual, who is
TBD. We had a little bit of a scheduling snafu with the 4th, and I'm still working on who that is.
I'm going to be asking around to see who wants to be on our show. But that's me, Anita.
Hi.
Do the thing.
That's me. I'm Anita, or Panita, or Critical Misses. You can find me everywhere online at Panita or at Critical Misses. You can find me here Monday for Kingsguard. You can find me behind the scenes for Blue Ghosts, which is a Blaze in the Dark game that D is running. That's premiering next week, so check that out. And Friday, you can find me running the Lost Frontier, our Star Trek Adventure show, which is amazing. The ship got taken over by an AI, but they befriended it, and now it's in their holodeck. And there might be a court trial of Starfleet versus the AI named Nara. Who knows how that's gonna work?
Nobody can see Nora except Sarah.
They fixed it. They
Oh,
were able to get Nara out of Taru's fake eye and into the computer.
nice.
So yeah, you can find me here for that. You can find me back here for Morning Ritual. You can also find me here Wednesdays on Vancouver by Night, because it's pre-recorded, for Changeling the Dreaming, which is Tales from the Rookery. It's a Changeling 20th Anniversary Edition game. Also, later today, I am going to be on Vancouver by Night's Twitch channel for Extra Life. I am running a game of Kids on Bikes as a one-shot. Lost Boys edition. So yeah, you can find me. Check me out. Oh, really? Check me out. Anyways, that's me. Wally, where can we find you?
What's up, y'all? It's me, WallE, your favorite non-binary slime best friend on the internet. Where you can find me on Twitter at WallE132, just like the cute little Disney robot, just randomly talking about the stuff that I enjoy.
Wow.
Yes, exactly. You can find me starting December 2nd, over at G Game Nights. I'm going to be playing some Urban Shadows going forward. A nice little combination of Urban Shadows and what we have also is using a little bit of the mechanics from several other games to make a nice little thing we're calling Elegant Creatures. This is basically Elegant Magics and Urban Shadows combined. We like the whole letter writing.
Ooh, who's in that one?
It's gonna be me. It's gonna be Greek Sid. It's gonna be a lot of people from GGK Nights. The GGK is everyone from there is gonna be that. I'm the new person in that group. So
Savvy? Is it Savvy's in that?
Yes, Savvy Seaworth is gonna be.
Oh,
in that.
nice.
Yeah, Craig and Crowning that. We got a lot of cool people in that. And I am very excited. I have played with all these people before, and I am really looking forward to playing in a regular game with them. That's gonna be fun. That's what I'm in every Thursday. Every other Sunday, you can find me over at the Killer DMs channel playing some Sunset City Mask every other Sunday at 9:30 p.m. That's tonight at 9:30 p.m. over at Sunset City playing some Sunset City Mask. It's going to be my character was away last week, so my character is going to be finding out that apparently his entire team has been running an underground fighting ring without them knowing. So leave the team for 1 week and that's what happens. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Hooray.
And finally, both me and WallE are going to be at PAX.
Yes, we're going to be at PAX!
You nerds.
Oh my god, we're going to be at PAX together.
Yes. Oh,
Chaos.
I know for a fact I'm bringing booze. So like, it's going to be a good time. I'm not working for nobody, so that means that I'm going to spend the entire time.
I'm not working for anyone at PAX this year, so this is going to be me just living my life.
Kappa, I am also missing PAX, so you don't have to feel left out. We can have FOMO together.
I'm going to be drunk on the floor, baby!
AJ is going to PAX
wander
too.
around in just a kimono shirt, a pair of sweatpants, and a pair of flip-flops.
I'll be in a kilt.
I'm gonna walk around slapping my stomach like this is a ghetto mating call.
playing my keg like a bongo, baby. You can find me by the war drums.
No, we're gonna go on a raid, everybody. Thank you all for stopping by with Morning Ritual. We're gonna go raid Burrito.
Yes, we love one whole burrito in this house.
Because we adore an entire burrito. Thank you all so much for stopping by and hanging out and chilling with us today. And thank you so much, Sensei Suplex, again for the raid. We love you all so much. But until next time, the ritual has concluded. Bye, everybody!